Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end. Now let's get started. Izuku Midoriya, our lovable green-haired coward gremlin of a protagonist who spent his life quirkless. Well, up until now when he turned 18, just after a year when All Might told him to become a policeman or a fireman instead of becoming a hero. I'm sorry, young man, but sometimes you have to think about what your dream is, and if it's realistic, so no, I don't think you could become a hero. Izuku pondered on All Might words. He almost gave up on his dream of becoming a hero back then, until a sudden little ball of white and blue energy appeared in front of him, essentially blinding him for a good second, and when he regained his bearings. What is that? Someone must be pranking me again, knowing where I am. Izuku shouts when the ethereal light begins to speed towards him at unprecedented speed that he couldn't even evade or react to it. And it zoomed towards him, straight to his chest, while he, on the other hand, grasped his chest thinking it attacked him. Someone shot me. No, my chest, I need to get a cloth to stop BL. Izuku looks at his white t-shirt, seeing no blood. Huh, nothing? Not understanding it, he removed his shirt only to see his normal chest, no wound the size of what he expected. What happened? What was that? He asked, not expecting that kind of situation. What he didn't expect, on the other hand, was a voice speaking to him. I finally found a worthy host. Izuku looks around, not seeing anyone in his room as he panicked. A ghost. A ghost got into my room. Izuku ran around his room, much to the embarrassment of the voice. Partner, I am not a ghost. My name is Albion, the Vanishing Dragon. The voice explained, why are you in my head? What's happening? Izuku said, still dazed and confused at his current predicament. I am as confused as you are. Partner, it seems after my previous wielder died after defeating his grandfather, I somehow crossed between dimensions while trying to find a new host. Albion paused while Izuku had something on his mind. And? What does that make me exactly, Albion-san? He asked the deep voice inside his mind. To put it simply, you are now a bearer of my power, a vessel of the White Dragon Emperor, Albion explained. As from Izuku's back a wing sprouted, and it looks mechanic as transparent light blue energy slowly formed. Fascinating. Your body is already capable of handling the liberation form. This form only gives you the wing of the balance breaker form, but also lets you half your opponent's strength. Izuku's eyes widened like saucers. He couldn't believe it. So your ability is practically a quirk? This is amazing, unbelievable. Albion, hearing his new partner's words about his ability, takes pride in it. From what I can recollect from your memories, these things called quirks are a human evolution. Humans adapting by manifesting this quirk factor to gain access to quirks. Izuku nods. Albion's explaining his own memories was weird, but nothing was much weirder than having a literal dragon inside your head. So partner, are you ready? To be my wielder, to be the White Dragon Emperor? Albion asked while Izuku pondered. If I take the offer, this lets me become a hero, and by becoming a hero I could save lives like All Might and other pro heroes. So Izuku paused for a moment and clenched his fist. Yes, I sure do. I want to become a hero no matter what. Albion, in his long line of wielders, never has he seen someone so enthusiastic about being the White Dragon Emperor. That's more like it, partner. I sure do hope you keep training your body. Albion said. Izuku nods at that. He wanted to be a hero no matter what. That's why he trained his body for almost a year now. He was prepared to go to UA after 3 years, prepared to go there and become the first quirkless hero, but now that changes things. I will continue with my training, Albion. I was already prepared to go to UA without a quirk, but now that I have you, this makes my path of becoming a hero far more smoother than what I had planned. Izuku wasn't a slouch. The moment he became a high school student, that was when he became mature with a far wider outlook on life. Sure, he wanted to be a hero, even a quirkless one. Ever since All Might crushed his dream of becoming a hero, he never lost the fire of becoming one. Heck, it even fueled his resolve more. So he trained his body, his mind, and his technique with fighting. As of now, throughout his years, Izuku learned several martial arts techniques like Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, Wing Chun, Dim Mak, or Touch of Death, karate, and Krav Maga. Some of those are dangerous ones, but since in his mind he's going to run into some powerful quirk users, then techniques that could kill are needed to be learned. That's why he did it. As he says, better safe than sorry. You have some plethora of martial arts techniques. I knew my decision with picking you wasn't wrong. Unlike Valley, who's so focused on magic, and the rivalry with Issei Hayadu, who's so focused on women's body than becoming stronger. I mean, it works with Issei Hayadu. You are far fit to be my wielder. Albion made the pride in Izuku more bolder, since this man really needs some confidence booster. That bad, really? I mean, I admire female assets, but not full-on gain a power-up because of it. Albion let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. Good to know I won't be called the trash dragon, because my wielder was too fascinated with a woman's behind. Izuku lets out a chuckle at that. Was this Vala Lucifer really that bad, or he was just influenced by this Issei Hodu, who gains power-ups through melons? Ha ha. Relax, Albion. Stop hyperventilating. I thought you're a dragon. Do dragons even hyperventilate like you? Izuku asked his new partner story behind that PTSD-like reaction. You don't know the half of it. Because of that, Red Dragon's host, my partner, got influenced by his perverse behavior, which gained us a nickname. The butt-slapping dragon Albion cried, remembering the humiliation he gained because of Vala's near over-the-top fascination with, but Izuku on the other side, and made a deal with him. I don't know the full story of that, but here in my world, with me, I can assure you, Albion. Izuku gained a smirk, the power of supremacy already having effects on him as he looked outside of his apartment. That the power of the white dragon of supremacy will be feared and respected, he proclaimed, much to the excitement and astonishment of Albion. Finally thanking whatever this accident was a blessing for him. Izuku Midoriya. Age, 21. Quirk. None for me. Okay, it's a joke, he's quirkless. Sacred Gear / Soul Mergence. Divine Dividing. Izuku gained Divine Dividing when Albion got lost through dimensions. When finding another host, he accidentally got to Izuku. Balance Breaker form. He has the ability to half the power of anything he likes. No touch whatsoever needed to activate it. Although if he did too much divide on his opponents, he could kill them or have them in a comatose state. Half Dimension. The ability to half everything in sight, including the area he wants. Juggernaut Drive. Izuku's aura in this gigantic form is toxic and appealing to male and female. That's the drawback of it. So he doesn't need to use it since he barely know anything he could pull out this on. Yes, it's powerful, but it's overkill. He could kill someone with it if he lost control. A little information about him after the 3 years time skip. Due to his principle of supremacy, he sees himself as superior to others. This is worse to people with mutant quirks with animalistic properties. God forbid if he meets Mirko, it's going to be either dominate her through fighting or dominate her the other way. As for someone having a dragon quirk like Ryukyu, it's either mate or prey. Mizuta-fu, Japan. 3 years later, Izuku Midoriya didn't slouch on his training. He trained so hard that after a year, he gained Balance Breaker and practiced with Albion's special abilities, mainly Half Dimension and other magic-related spells that the old dragon gained through his host throughout the centuries. Partner, how's the flame and ice magic you've been working on? Albion asked his partner, who had for the past 3 years been working his butt off like crazy to master any magic Albion dished out on him. Pretty good, considering it doesn't affect me any more. Cold and heat has no effect on me ever since I got resistance of it. The boy, the man that Izuku became, is what Albion had hoped for. He's confident that he's the second strongest White Dragon Emperor since Valley unlocked Lucifer form armor. And Izuku doesn't have that leeway of having demonic heritage. I see, keep it going, partner. We only have 1 week until your test for UA starts, and you're one step of becoming a hero. Not believing his hard work wasn't enough for UA, Izuku pushed more thanks to Albion's encouragement. As he bolted faster, the jog for him was a lightning blur for others who he passed by, followed by the strong wind that disorients them. What was that wind? Someone exclaimed when Izuku passed by. He's training is a natural disaster for someone. Imagine you're just minding your business and some lunatic that generates so much energy that creates electricity around him passed you by and suddenly shocked you out of the blue. That's pretty annoying for sure. But alas, Izuku stopped seeing a nearby cafe. Any refreshment you want, Albion? He asked his partner, who in turn manifested behind him and answered, "A creamy latte, and a good pair of toast with chocolate and a strawberry topping," is the reply he received as he walked closer to the cafe. A good couple of minutes after ordering, Izuku got their orders and dug in, relaxing, taking their time of eating their share of food and enjoying the free time both of them have. "I like this time of day." No hysterical Vil Albion smacked his draconic head. His partner just jinxed it. "Don't even say it, Albion. I know, as he puts down his payment and tip, leaping towards the direction of the sudden explosion they heard. "You jinxed it," Albion yelled in Izuku's head, who in turn got a tick mark, seemingly pissed off. "F off you albino, overgrown lizard," yelled a pissed off Izuku, still mad about his partner, saying the obvious thing. Scene change. The scene starts with the chaos that ensues, a young adult stuck and almost covered from neck to toe in green sludge, while his quirk explodes everything around him. "Let me go, you stupid extra," one angry Katsuki Bakugo yelled. "Oh, don't be like that, kid. Once I'm inside you, all the pain will end. Oh, sure you die, but you're gonna be my hero, haha." Sadistic laughter of the sludge villain echoes, as cries of worry from the hopeful bystanders resonates with the chaos happening. "Come on, I'm sure a hero with the right quirk would arrive, right?" Kimui Woods asks no one in particular, while he and Death Arms are helpless, trying to find a way to get the hostage out. "F at my weakness, tight spaces." MT Lady irks an annoyance, seeing there's nothing they could do. "Heroes do something, that guy looks like he couldn't keep up with his breathing. He'll suffocate." A bystander shouts, urging the heroes to do something. "We can't. The hostage keeps firing his explosions." Death Arm said, already scared to go in there since he already got burn marks on his huge arms after he tried earlier and got sent flying by an explosion. "F it. I'll burn up if this keeps going." Kimui Woods, already seeing his arm was burning a little bit. "Backdraft. Help me here. I need some water. My arm is burning." Hearing that, Backdraft sent a wave of water to Kimui Woods, causing the fire to go out. "That's the last time. I need to try and lessen the fire around here, or else we'll have a mass fire outbreak here." He yells back. Backdraft already got into his own work, trying to mitigate the fire. "Can someone save that guy?" Another bystander said. As the chaos ensues, Katsuki Bakugo was losing his temper. "I said let me go, Sludge Beach. I swear to God, the moment I'm out of your binding, I'm killing the hell out of you." Bakugo yelled out, still flinging his explosion around, no aim, just praying it could hit at least something. "A few more limbs, and I'm going to be in control of your entire body. Ha ha." The sludge villains laugh, while Katsuki continues with his barges of explosions. "Hey, look at the sky, is that?" As everyone looks at the sky, a huge morph dragon with a red suit and bandana looks down at the chaos currently going on. "Holy cow, it's the Dragoon heroine Ryukyu." As the said heroine lands, on all fours growling at the sludge villain. "Let the guy go, villain." In her dragon form she spoke, her voice a little deeper and primal. "Heck no. I have the high grounds here. This guy is my hostage. Tired of it." Ryukyu, with her sharp talons, inched closer to the sludge. "Then I'll just have to tie her." Hand was sent back. The recoil almost broke it as she winced, seeing the guy's explosion hit her. "Yeah, finally, I got control of his quirk. Now, it's only a matter of time till I get full control of his body." Heroes and bystanders looks in horror at the implication of it. "F it," she growled. She couldn't do anything in this current situation. Katsuki, who was losing control and breath, looked at the heroes with tears in his eyes, voice shaky, and only said something. "Help me," as he lost consciousness. In the sky, a miracle appeared as everyone looked up as MT Lady said. "He's here?" she asked, as a man clad in white armor and a helmet covering his head with his wings glowing light blue behind him. A blurred descent as his metal foot clinked on the ground. Stood tall at 6 feet 1 inch, the man inside the armor spoke. "Let the hostage go, or else." The man spoke in a cold tone. "Or else what?" "You can't do anything." He was stopped from his monologue when he felt his body becoming weaker, getting smaller. Everyone was only hearing one word: "Divide," as the word echoes to everyone's ears. Yutakiyama, also known as MT Lady, looks at the sky and saw the man who she had a fling with 5 months ago, the same man who made her brain melt from the certain exercise they did. I can't wait for another round, she thought while licking her finger, quite suggestive about what she's wanting for a while now. Scene change. Ryuko Tatsuma, or Ryukyu as her hero name, has transformed back to her human form, her body shaking, her legs trembling at the sight of the man in white armor. Why is my body like this? She asked herself as she suddenly lost her balance and sat on the cold ground. Is this fear? Asking her own body from the shaking and trembling it does. Who are you? Are you a hero? The man's head glanced back at her. No, for now. Stop asking stupid questions, little dragon, and stop trembling. I wasn't directing my draconic aura at you. The man said, revealing that what she was feeling was the aura of another dragon. And worst of all, it's just his excess aura that somehow slips. As for his aura, the villain had given up when he directed it towards him. Stop right there. Don't go near me. The villain begged, as the blue aura seems to make the sludge villain back away from the armored man. Let the guy go, last warning, his left arm stretched out, preparing something. No, and don't go near me, or else this explosion guy gets it, said the sludge villain, threatening Katsuki's life if the man continues walking towards them. You gave me no choice, I guess. The armor's eyes glowed bright golden light, while the man in armor lets out a sigh, clearly so done with this sludge villain. The man's wings enlarged as his stretched-out arm begins to close. Have to mention, the sludge villain began to get smaller and smaller as the space is occupying is trying to make him into a mush of green blobs. I gave up. Please stop it. The sludge villain yelled out in pain, and when the man heard that, he stopped as the villain turned into mush and Katsuki Bakugo was let go, unconscious but still alive and lightly breathing. Quick, gets the guy. Death Arm, get the oxygen tank from the ambulance. Kimui Woods took charge. It wasn't done yet as Backdraft reached his limits. I'm on my limit. Does anyone have a water-based cork? You have my permission to use it. This is an emergency. As Backdraft looks at the crowds, some people wanted to do it, but the man in armor beat them to it. I'll handle it, do not worry. The man with both arms reached for the flames. Divide. Divide, as the voice said, and the flames dwindled and disappeared like nothing happened, left with the burn marks on walls and buildings. Thank you, whoever you are, man in armor. The hero Backdraft appreciated the help of the man. You're welcome, Backdraft. I guess that I'll see y'all. Ciao. The man flew away in a flash. Even after 2 seconds passed, he disappeared like he was never there to begin with. Is he a new hero? The crowd asked. Meanwhile, for Ryukyu, she was flustered. Her thighs were wet from the liquid dripping down. Why is my body so hot? My legs were trembling. What is this reaction? She asked herself. Unknown to her, this is her body's reaction to power, unbridled power. And worst of all, it's a dragon. It's her natural reaction to that power. As for the crowd, a blonde man was thankful. Thank goodness, I didn't need to push myself and act out, but amazing display of power, whoever you are, man in white armor. The blonde man reminisced at the sight of the armored man and how he heroically saved the day. Scene change. Izuku up in the sky. In his normal divine, dividing wings without the armor, looks down below at the blossoming city of Muzutafu with a look of content on his face. Looks like that's done. Did I forget about something? Izuku asked himself while a shout reverberated inside his head. You idiot, partner of mine. My second order of creamy latte and strawberry chocolate toast. You forgot about that. Go back now, go back. Shout by an angered Albion, pissed off with his partner for forgetting something so important. Oh, sorry, I'll head back to the cafe. Izuku, with a sweat drop on his head, slowly descended down towards the cafe. Good, Albion said ominously. Scene change. Namiri Kiyama, or Midnight, the R-rated hero, has been eyeing some guy for a while now. It's been almost 2 years ever since she met that young man of so youthful body that appealed her. He just helped her pack up her groceries when he was walking home after training. It's just a fateful meeting that they did meet at all. She, on the other hand, can't erase the fixation she has for the young man. Her head always goes at the thoughts of him. She can't forget about that emerald eyes, unkempt dark green hair, and that lean and very chiseled muscle he had when they met. I'll find you, little man, she said while licking her lips. This woman is too obsessed as FCK. Poor Izuku, may your soul rest in peace. Scene change. Izuku now stood tall as he looked at the huge, secured wall of UA College. He smiled. Thought he was about to speak, but someone bumped his back and sneered at him. Watch where you are going, useless Deku. As he saw the face of the scowling Katsuki Bakugo. Get off your high horse. You bumped into me. Are you blind or something? Izuku returned the shoulder bump and passed by Katsuki, who got thrown into the ground. That's what you deserve. You trash. As Izuku looks away and continues walking. No one's bullying the dragon of supremacy. Heck, like I'll let that happen to me. No one deserves to look down on me. He lastly said with venom in his voice. UA College of Heroics. Izuku had finished the written exam. He knew had it in the bag for FCK's sake. He has Albion, who's a walking encyclopedia of knowledge of a different world, so it's a given he'd have a perfect score. He even put a question there for whoever would mark it. He's sure he would be called for it, but to him, it doesn't matter. He's just showing off the knowledge he has. He smirked. You may even question yourself on this one. Principal Nizu, let's see if your high-spec work could keep up with a dragon who lived for centuries. After that, he stood up, even though it's only been 10 minutes since the written exam finished. I'll thank you, partner, for putting me in such high regards, said Albion, liking the fact that the knowledge he hoarded throughout his life helped his partner. After standing up and giving the paper to Present Mike, someone couldn't help but call him up on it. Sarame, you there with the unkempt hair. How did you already finish the exam? The dark blue-haired guy spoke up. I'm done. What's there to do? Izuku replied, and that clicked the wrong button in the guy. Are you kidding? This is UA, not a joke that you could simply pass your paper without second-guessing your answer. Izuku didn't like that guy. The tone of supremacy irks Izuku the wrong way, too. Look here, glasses guy, because I'm smarter than the rest of you and finished faster than you, doesn't mean I didn't take the exam seriously. Izuku starts walking out of the examination halls. I'm done here. That's final. If you want to second-guess your answer, go ahead. I won't waste my time second-guessing myself. He left, leaving the boys' mouth agape, and everyone kept their mouth closed. Okay, all right. Other listeners, you can go back to focusing on your exam papers. Present Mike said, yelled, as everyone continued, and the blue-hair guy took his seat. Scene change. He sat there. For 1.5 hours after he left, he stared at the huge door that separates him from his dream, along with other contestants who are ready to destroy robots to achieve their goals. Partner, these people are hopeless. Their legs are shaking in anticipation while they have no pride and belief in themselves. In other words, weaklings. Izuku sighed after hearing Albion's explaining the people around him are nothing but a bunch of slouches. Then, suddenly Izuku got grabbed by someone by the back. Izuku Midoriya, what are you doing here? He was confronted by Shoyuta Aizawa, a tired-looking man who looks like he didn't sleep his whole life. Huh? What do you mean, sir? Aizawa sighed and pinched his temple at the boy's confusion. Izuku Midoriya, you're not supposed to be here. This is the normal examination. You're supposed to be in the recommendation exam. Izuku's eyes widened as huge as plates. Wait a minute. Nobody sponsored me. How the heck did I even get in recommendation? Izuku was given a paper by Shoyuta Aizawa there. After reading it, the more his eyes widened. Izuku Midoriya, 21, male. Quirkless. High school. Aldera High School. Recommended by Namiri Kiyama Midnight. Yutakiyama, MT Lady. Each of those names had lipstick marks, much to Izuku's chagrin and now growing anticipation of what he would do now. If you're worrying about your written exam, don't worry about it's going to be stored by Principal Nizu himself, since the recommendation has the same questionnaire. Izuku huffed. Let's go, I'll guide you out, and we'll send yo, as the sound of go was heard by everyone. Izuku saw the city door open as all the contestants ran inside. Hell no, I'm not standing here and wait for my exam. Without even commanding, Albion the Divine, dividing wings appeared on his back, and he shot off like a rocket. Hey, get back here. Aizawa looks at the figure of Izuku, slowly growing distant. I don't get paid enough for this thing. Taking out his yellow sleeping bag, and just slept there like nothing even happened. Scene change. Partner? He asked his partner, while Albion replied, Don't have to tell me twice, I'm on it. Then, white armor that resembles that of a dragon covered his entire body. Vanishing Dragon, balance breaker, Albion announced as the transformation finished. As for those villain robots in the pamphlet, his eyes gaze below, his eyes goes into overdrive, trying to find a robot. After a good 10 seconds, he found one. There, in a three-pointer too. He blitzed down, using his leg to make an impact with the three-pointer. The three-pointer's torso, where Izuku's leg hit, can no longer be seen as Izuku ran through it and destroyed its chest, and seconds later it blew up. That's 3 points. Izuku glanced behind him, feeling another villain robot, and this time it's a two-pointer. Two-pointer? That's good. I can't afford to lose precious seconds. Using his sharp mechanic tail, infused with magic, he slashed through the head of said two-pointer, which caused him to grin. He flew upwards, gaining his high ground again, and continued with finding robots. Two-pointers, three-pointers. He didn't even touch a one-pointer. Being as generous as he is, he gave it to other contestants. There you go. You just got another one, he said, then flew away after he helped some pink-skinned girl who, by his own words, cute. And he also found her interesting since she has a downgraded version of Albion's Reduce. Speaking of, he just now used it on a three-pointer after seeing the robot reduced to nothing. Izuku saw another one, so he flew at it like a rocket and ready his ability. Well, aren't you a clanky son of a? Here, have this. He reached his hand out, and the voice of Albion resonated with him. Reduce. A unique blend of venom covered the three-pointer whole mechanical body, reducing it into nothing. Stop using my original ability. That thing can cut souls little by little. It's dangerous if there's anyone there. He's so done with his partner. Imagine using a powerful spell that could cause souls to be hurt, but Izuku just use it like some normal acid quirk to melt the three-pointer. I'd be pissed too. Okay, I won't use it anymore for now. Happy? He heard a huff. As he continued with his vital fluid, you know what you can't even call a bloodbath. This is a junkyard boy scraping things. He dug deep into another two-pointer and took the power source out and crushed it. Waste of metal, another wanted to attack him, but he attacked it using his claws and made it into sushi. Junkyard trash. As he threw the two-pointer into a three-pointer who was about to attack him, it caused the three-pointer to go out of balance and fall, so he flew up and jumped on it and stared at the two red dots as the robot's eyes. "Give me your face," he said. Then he clawed the metal plate and dug his sharp claw into its schematics, blowing the thing up. He stood there. He was certain this should be enough. It's already been 8 minutes. He only has 2 minutes left to gain points. That should be 126, right? He wondered. Help. At that loud shout, he acted without a second thought, flying like a speeding bullet to where he heard it. Izuku was shocked to see the cutie he helped just a while ago, and was now stuck by some debris too heavy for her to pick up. Help! The incoming one-pointer was about to attack her, but Izuku heard her plea, being the hero he is. He flew as fast as lightning and sliced the arm of the one-pointer before it could hurt her. You okay? Can't have that cute face with scars now, can we? As he took the debris off of her. Thanks, armored guy. Glad you heard me shouting. She wanted to stand, but she got sent back down by gravity and her sprained leg. I think my legs are broken, no. I think my points aren't enough yet. The pink girl wanted to stand up again and again, not wanting her journey to just end like this. Stop pushing yourself here, I'll help you. Izuku, being the gentleman that he is, carrying the girl bridal style. Wait, if you help me, you'll lose the cha. Izuku stopped her by flying up, taller than the buildings. Hey, too high. Izuku descended a little lower. What is your plan exactly? The girl asked. I'm going to be your wings. You attack, let's work together. I think my points are already enough. Her brow narrowed at that. What's with that look? She looked away. Oh, nothing, maybe because of the fact that you just call me cutie back there. Izuku knew that tone. He's no coward to just fold at a woman's teasing. And? He inched his face closer to her, his nose touching hers. It's the truth, isn't it? I'm no liar, woman, just stating facts. He knew he won that tease challenge. The tinge of purple flushed cheeks was proof of that. That's my partner. Show her she's messing with a white dragon emperor. Shout Albion inside his head. Look at you all embarrassed. Just be sure you cling to me hard. As he saw a villain robot. You're going to be in for a ride of your life. Izuku and the girl who introduced herself as Mina Shido. is in a rather special team-up as Izuku becomes her caretaker, bringing her close to robots and letting her attack them to gain points. I just gained 23 points. Are you sure you'd rather have that in your points tally? She asked. No, I guess I'm already good with my points already passing like 150 plus. Her eyes widened. You have what? She yelled, causing him to irk at the sudden shouting. Calm your pants, cutie. It's just 150 plus points, no biggie, Izuku said, so casually. She doesn't realize it, but when she was focusing with her own targets, Izuku was throwing around light energy that destroyed a couple of 3-pointers and 2-pointers. Don't say it so casually. Nobody here has that many points. Mina again yelled at him, much to his discomfort. Give me a break. It's nothing, just continue with melting those incoming 3-pointers and 1-pointer, he said, his head looking at the sight of 4 of 3-pointers and 1 of 1-pointers. Give him hell. As he flew closer, letting her spray some acid on those robots, it took time, yes, but she destroyed it after a while. Scene change. As the two were going on a joyride, finding some robots, at least one of them heard a voice yelling for help. Help me, please. They both look at the direction, ground shaking, a shadow covering some buildings. Is that a 0-pointer? Mina yelled in shock. Someone's in trouble. Izuku landed on the ground and let Mina sit on the cold, hard concrete. Stay here, he commanded. Do your best to save that damsel in distress. She urged him. Behind his mask, Izuku smiled. I sure will. He flew towards the trouble. Closing the distance, he saw a huge, giant pointer who was about to crush a brown-haired girl who was stuck by some rubble piece of buildings on top of her leg. This is why I hate that I don't have boost when it matters, Izuku said, not seeing any other way to save that girl. He doesn't have enough pure strength to conquer that 0-pointer. For a moment, he wanted to save the girl by taking the rubble off of her. But if he's a second late, the robot would crush her. There's no other choice. While flying closer to the robot, Izuku began his chant. Are you really going to go this far for a mere human? Partner? Albion asked. I'm a hero partner. Saving people is my calling. Izuku replied and flew close towards a 0-pointer. Scene change. Who am about to awaken, Izuku began chanting as a burst of energy leaks out of his white armor. I am the heavenly dragon who lost all to the principle of supremacy. Izuku's armor glowed in both light and green energy. I envy the infinite and pursue the dream. He was enveloped in a ball of light. I shall become the white dragon of supremacy. The ball of light grow bigger, far bigger than even the 0-pointer. I shall take you to the limits of innocence. The huge ball of light was cut in half as a huge figure was revealed. Scene change. UA teacher's viewing room. Everyone's eyes widened. Is that a mechanical dragon? Power Loader asked. His thoughts are mind-boggling him if it's a support item. There you are, my little man Namuri Kiyama, or Midnight spoke while licking her lips. You know who's using that support item? Aizawa's eyebrow furrowed at her in her statement. It's the same color scheme of armor that Izuku Midoriya used a few minutes ago. After he said that, Namuri merely giggled. Just a casual acquaintance. His name is Izuku Midoriya. He has a body armor that same one you saw minutes before. And this one, she said, as Principal Nizu hastily found his papers, and after finding it, found it. Nizu began to read Izuku's file. Izuku Midoriya, 21 years old. Wait a minute, quirkless? Nizu and the frail man known as Tashinori Yagi's eyes widened. What do you mean by quirkless? Yagi asked. It says here is quirkless, even after that manifestation of that armor ability, and going through a re-examination, and still the outcome was the same. He's still quirkless. No doctor could find out why. They all couldn't believe what Nizu just said. That's Izuku for ya. Whatever he is isn't a quirk, I'm sure of it. No sentient quirk ever call me a mill, it's sure. When she met Izuku, Albion, while not realizing it, spoke that Midnight is a mill. Yes, he said that out loud. The hell? Power Loader, Yagi, Cementos, and Aizawa all looked at her with gobsmacked look. Scene change. Someone save me, Ochako begged. All her life, all she wanted was to be a hero, to save her parents from poverty that they are suffering from. Please, her consciousness are going out, but before she could go into dreamland, she was covered in shadow as a huge figure flying above her passed by. What is that? She saw the huge white dragon dug its huge claws into the zero-pointer. It's lifting the zero-pointer. She shouts, seeing the dragon starting to lift the zero-pointer and flying away with it. "Thank you," she exclaimed, thankful for being saved by that thing. It was like a battle of titans, well, one-sided battle, I guess. My leg, though, as she glanced at her leg, clearly broken from the weight. After a good few seconds, a man clad in what armor approached her. "Are you all right, miss?" he asked, while she pointed at the rubble. My leg, Izuku, took the multiple rubble on top of her leg, causing her to let out a grunt of pain. "Art," she groaned. Izuku, seeing that, gave her a hand, helping her up. "Here, I'll help you up." When he did make her stand up, she suddenly lost balance. Her leg still hurt and couldn't stand up for a few seconds, and then Izuku took her entire torso and let her body rest leaning on his armor. "You'll be fine, miss. I'm sure that Recovery Girl is already on the move." As the buzzer echoed, marking the end of the exam. "Thank you," she said, Izuku smiling, and he knew there's some hidden points there somewhere. Since fighting villains isn't the only use of a hero is someone who saves lives, so there must be hidden points somewhere along this exam. I'm sure of it. Izuku's trail of thoughts. "I think so, too," my partner Albion agreed. White Dragon Lair. Midoriya Residence. A 3-story house, and a lot that covers over 15,000 square feet. This was the house of Izuku Midoriya. He's alone here, since he really doesn't have a family anymore. His dad ran out on them when he got diagnosed quirkless, and his mom, well, Inko Midoriya, died from a villain attack. He still has a room for his mother, though, packed with things she had in their old apartment room. It's been 2 years ever since that day. Call. Inko. "Izuku, are you all right, honey? Don't come home late, okay?" Izuku. "Yes, Mom. I'll just finish training here, and I'll go home." Inko. "Okay, honey, I'll wait for Y Boom." Izuku. "Mom, what happened? Did I just heard an explosion?" Inko. "It's a villain attack, Izuku. Don't go home. Please, my baby boy, promise me you won't go." He ACKK. Izuku heard his mother being on a chokehold by the villain. Would you look at that? I got the perfect hostage. That's all Izuku lastly heard of his mother that day. Just the wail and breathless plea of his mother. He got home after half an hour, only to see his mother's dead corpse, her neck broken at an imaginable angle. That same day, that same moment. He lost himself. He gained power, but at what cost? He's trying to be better, but who will be there to see him grow? No one. The first woman who cared for him was gone. After that very day, Izuku made a promise to himself, to his mother's name, and to God himself. "I will flip over heaven and hell if it means I get to rip your whole spinal cord out of your living body." He lost himself there. His mother wasn't the only one who died, but also the little boy inside him who wanted to be a hero. As he promised, that through hell and back he will have his revenge. His eyes glowed golden as he spoke the name of the murderer who killed his mother. "I will find you, Muscular." Scene change. Welcome to your hero academia. Young Midoriya. Congratulations, Mr. Top Scorer. As the hologram finished informing him, he still looks as nonchalant as ever, since he already foreseen this outcome. "F off, you hypocrite," he said. Why did he call All Might a hypocrite? Well, it's because of the conversation they had 3 years ago, before he got Albion, even months before that. Izuku found out about All Might having a time limit since he stalked All Might just wanting an autograph, but he saw All Might transform from a buff dude to a lanky, frail blonde man who looks like he's almost at death's door. Izuku confronted All Might about it, and things happened as forced to keep it hidden like he would even try, but when All Might and him were face to face. "All Might, can a person like me, who has no quirk, could I become a hero too?" Izuku asked his idol, hopeful about his answer, but when his idol replied, it wasn't the reply Izuku wanted. "No, it's not possible, kid. You can't be a hero without a quirk. You should look at other jobs like a fireman or even a policeman. Sure, they get laughed at since heroes almost do all the villain capture, but still it's a respectable job." Izuku was on his knee, losing his strength. "If that's all, I'll take my leave, young man." All Might left, leaving a broken Izuku alone to his own devices. Scene change. "If only you saw the heroism in me, All Might. I could have been a good successor to your power, to One for All," he said, clearly sad for a moment until he wiped away a tear from his cheek. "Partner, we already talked about this. Doubting your own capability for heroism isn't healthy for your mental state. Izuku slouches from his seat. Sorry, you're right though, partner. I'd just look away from the past, stop doubting myself, and walk to the future. He cheered while Albion, not realizing it, had smiled a genuine smile on his mouth, his sharp canine out. That's more like it. That's the partner I know, not some sniveling brat. Albion added. And I might add, why don't you find something to distract yourself? Right par Albion was cut off as Izuku received a message. A message? Izuku questioned and opened his phone, reading the notification. A message with a picture. Pinky the cutie. Pinky, a gift for saving me from the debris and carrying me through the exam. Are you naked? The heck are you thinking sending that to me? Pinky, I don't know, just felt like it. Why are you curious if I'm naked or not? Do you want to see? No comment. Pinky the cutie sent an attachment. Pinky, like what you see. I don't know how I'll answer to that. Pinky, come on, be honest with me here. You want me to be honest? Pinky, of course, Greenie. Greenie sent an attachment. I'm hot and bothered because of your huge rack and cute nips, and adding that lustful look you have while eating that Pocky stick made me hot and swear. They're happy, Pinky? Pinky, oh no, you're really just messing with me with that innocent guy act, huh? You're an expert, you just know how to make women act up. And be honest with me, you're hard now, right? And who's at fault? Is it that I'm hard? Right now? Pinky, sorry, but I know how to make it up to you, Greenie. Pinky is video calling. Pickup call / drop call. Izuku saw an opportunity and picked up the video call. Like I said, partner, opportunity to distract yourself and have fun. Albion's voice echoes in his mind. Albion, I think you should sleep for now. He urged his partner, who in turn replied with, don't have to tell me twice. Albion hid himself in the deepest corners of Izuku's mind, not wanting to experience or see whatever Izuku would see going forward. Scene change. Izuku is currently sleeping on his king-sized bed, quite tired from what they did a few hours ago. Pink rack, Izuku was dreaming in his own dreamland, enjoying whatever he's dreaming about, and is out of it from just seeing them once his. Already having a dream of her. Albion sighed at his partner's expense. Mina Ishido was pacing around, glancing at the door of Class 1A, their homeroom class. She's waiting for someone special to her. It's been a few weeks since they met, and it's the first day of school. Is he late or something? She asked. In her mind, she was pacing back and forth thinking, when will he arrive? I'm sure he got in. He said he had 150+ points. There's no way in hell he didn't got accepted. She's right, there's no way in hell that Izuku didn't got in. If her own scores got her in, then it's certain Izuku got in. Plus, if those two loud mouths got in, she's sure Izuku did too. That idiot. His law she was about to finish when the door opened, and she looks at who was it. Green hair and green eyes, followed by an aura of supremacy oozing from him, causing almost everyone to look at his direction. Greenie. She didn't second-guess her decision and just ran up to him and tackled him. Like this, no blush though. Our glorious White Dragon Emperor doesn't blush at this kind of things is composed. Izuku smiled a little. Hey Pinky, what's up, he said, while Mina looks at him with a smirk. Oh, nothing much, just happy you're here. He was holding her waist, causing some girls, even guys, to blush at that. For fuck's sake, they were in the classroom. Who wouldn't blush at that kind of situation? Can you let me go, Pinky? Everyone's Lou, he said, until a voice spoke up, finally focusing on what's happening with the two. You too. That's enough. Such indecent behavior is not befitting a student of UA. The same dark blue-haired kid, Izuku, roasted in the exam, spoke up as everyone looks at him, not speaking up, just minding their own business to themselves. It's nothing, come on, chill. I'm just hugging him. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Mina spoke in defense of her and Izuku. It is cease this vulgar AC. Ida retorted back. Want to have them act formal. Oh, this isn't vulgar. This is Mina exclaimed. What do you mean? Izuku wanted to speak, but was cut off by Mina when she grabbed him by the collar and dragged his whole face to hers, causing their lips to collide with each other. See? That's vulgar, she said after he surprised Izuku by kissing him. How unsightly. Please refrain from doing such thing at this formal grounds. Izuku sighed at Tenya Ida's lack of mind his own business. I swear, partner, this hairless monkey irritates me. Albion exclaimed in Izuku's mind. Izuku, too, share the same thought. Does anyone here have ice quirk? Can you please freeze this man? He doesn't know when to chill. Izuku exclaimed. What the hell are you doing here, Deku? The already growing irritation in Izuku just got tenfold when hearing who was it. Him to please freeze this rabid dog too, a bicolored-haired guy was about to stand up. How did your quirkless bum even got in here? You don't deserve to be Bakugo was cut off when Izuku reached his boiling point. And you do? You deserve to be in UA? I would like to remind you that you bullied a quirkless kid. Bakugo froze at that, as Izuku let Mina go, and he walks closer to Bakugo. Is that a student that deserves to be in UA? Are you sure? Izuku inched closer. You're even worth being called a hero in training, let alone a hero? A smirk now hidden by Izuku's hand while he whispered into Bakugo's ear. You're not. You're a villain wanting to be a hero because he thought some quirkless kid was looking down on him. Bakugo, who had enough, lunged at Izuku with fury in his eyes. Not very hero-like divide. A blue light envelopes Bakugo as he felt his quirk just got weaker. What happened to my explosion? What did you do? He yelled at Izuku, who has his arm outstretched towards Bakugo's face. Oh, quit playing victim. With that attitude, no one would ever believe you. Putting his pointing finger up. I didn't do anything. You were about to attack, so in self-defense, I used my ability on you. Divide lets me have the power of whoever I want, and I keep the energy of that power to maintain myself. Izuku said with a smirk. Then when the boys saw Bakugo was about to attack again, 3 guys went in between them. Rikudo Sato, Tenya Ida, and Eijiro Kirishima was the ones who went in between them, not wanting the little altercation to continue and cause a bigger ruckus. That's enough, you two. We are here in UA to become heroes, not settle scores. Tenya Ida spearheaded the operation and became the referee and stopped the fight. TCH, just you wait, Deku. I'll put you back in your place. He yelled, walking back to his chair. Enough, Greenie, ignore that guy. He seems a lot of trouble, Mina said, holding Izuku by the waist while looking at the pissed-off Katsuki Bakugo. He's an enemy of hers now, since Izuku just revealed he was bullied by Bakugo. You're right, Izuku said while gritting his teeth and clenching his head, holding back the urge to transform in a juggernaut drive and just squash Katsuki like a bug right here and now. The room has so much tension, thick that even a knife can cut through it, until a bubbly girl opens the door happily. And what happened? She said, while Izuku noticed behind her there was a presence. Nothing. And hey, there's Sensei. Izuku grinned when he made eye contact with the person inside the yellow caterpillar sleeping bag. Oh good, someone who's actually aware, said the dark-haired man, who looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. Come on, let's have orientation with Class 1B after that. Quirk apprehension, the tired teacher said, and Kirishima, seeing a way to lead the class, said, let's go. Orientation with the sister class. He proceeds to get out of the class and stayed beside Aizawa. Hey, Greenie, look at Sensei. Izuku, hearing Mina, said that he obeyed and look again. Doesn't he look like a yellow caterpillar? She covered her mouth, not wanting to laugh at her own teacher and get expelled. Pinky, don't you dare laugh. Izuku stared at Mina's soul, promising if she's about to laugh. Hamina was about to laugh, but Izuku covered her mouth, not liking the idea of his girlfriend getting expelled for laughing. Calm down. Mina was being held down by Izuku. She was still laughing behind his hand. Izuku, having enough, bites her shoulder to stop her from laughing. Kia, it backfired, alright, as everyone looked at them. The hell? Is some of them said when they look at that sight. Izuku looked like a deer to a headlight. Mina stood beside Izuku, along with their classmates and the Class 1B just a few meters away from them. With seats 3 by 7 in order, the same can be said with their sister class. Hey, Greenie, got any idea what this is going to be about? Izuku shrugs at that, his only reaction while replying. No idea really. About you, Albion? He asked his partner, not even trying to hide him. Your mate is beside your partner. You are aware you're revealing my presence to her, right? Albion asked his partner. Wait, who's Albion, Greenie? She asked, Mina being the curious being that she has asked her boyfriend about who this Albion person is. Oh, the ancient dragon of supremacy within my mind. No biggie, he said, so casually as her eyes turned into saucers. Izubabi, did you just say ancient dragon? She whispers, yeah? She slumped back in her seat. Dragon ancient supremacy. She then cupped Izuku's cheeks and told him, "My boyfriend is awesome." She then cutely gave him a kiss on his nose. "That's cute. Dying a whole partner." Albion said, jealous of the fact that his partner has a mate while he, on the other hand, is dead, has no body, has no PP, has no mate. The sad life of a dragon emperor stuck in a Longinus class gear. F off, Albion, the albino furry lizard. It was heard within Izuku's mindscape that several buildings were caught in the crossfire of a dragon blast from pissed off Albion. "Partner, I feel it. A sacred gear found itself here. It's weak." Not a Longinus, Albion informed him. While he looks around at the students, he's sure of it. A weak sacred gear is within one of these students. "I felt this power before. It's one of Issei Haida's mates. The nun, one of the students here, has Twilight Healing," Albion added. Izuku whispered that name again. "Twilight Healing? I wonder who has it," Izuku said. His gaze looking at the students one by one. "Find it, partner. Find the wielder of the sacred gear, whoever they're of great value to us." Albion saw the value in whoever held the Twilight Healing. "All right then," Mina then tugged at his side. "Hey, are you talking to your dragon? Can I say hi?" With her question, he nodded at her. "Hello to you too." My partner's mate. Mina raised her eyebrow, confused at the word mate. "Oh, you can talk to me too." "Hey, Albion-san, what do you mean by mate?" she asked the dragon within Izuku. "The tattoo on your chest explains that." He claimed you. Mina, hearing that, unbuttoned her uniform and saw the said tattoo. It's a neon blue dragon insignia. Imagine the white is blue, and the blue background is her chest. "Cool, I got a free tattoo, awesome." She cheered, while Izuku sighed at her bubbly actions. That's the thing she's focused on. "My lord, just kill me already." Izuku pinched his temple. "Hey, it's my first tattoo, give me a break." She pouts while seeing that. Izuku just took her head and let it rest on his shoulder. The bubbly girl enjoyed the feeling on his shoulder and took a good sniff of his good and scented perfume. "No chance, babe. Just hush, we might get scolded by one of those stuck-ups again," he said, warning her about being noisy or they might get scolded again. "Since you students already have your pamphlets, please read them in your spare time." Vlad King, the blood hero, said while waving a copy of said pamphlet around for the students to see. "Some of the best parts of the school are here, like the cafeteria where lunch rush works. The library contains almost all the books in heroics and other subjects. Then there's the training grounds, the gyms Alpha to Gamma, where you can use your quirks fully with the attentive eyes of one of your teachers, with permission from them, of course." Vlad King informed them. "I won't cover every information in the pamphlet. You can read it in your spare time." Izuku listening on that. He knew he wanted to try the gyms where he can train. "Partner, I would like to try the library, would you mind?" he asked his partner. "I don't mind. We'll check it out when we have the time," Izuku said. His partner is pleased with that. Sure, he's an ancient dragon who lived for a long time, but the knowledge of another world is just too sweet to ignore. The orientation finished up and the class spread out, going wherever they wanted to check out first, while Mina was like a koala to Izuku, being stitched to him like a pet. "Got somewhere you want to start off the tour, baby?" Mina asked. "Nothing in mind yet, babe, you?" Izuku replied with his own question. "Let's try the cafeteria. We still have 2 hours until the quirk apprehension. Come, baby." "You and Albion-san are my scary dog privilege." Izuku once again pinched the bridge of his nose. "Gotta say, partner, she has you hooked." Albion voiced his thoughts. "Guess so, but that's her charm." Izuku shared his thoughts with Albion. Meanwhile, Mina dragged him to the cafeteria. Mina paid for the food and started to feed Izuku like she's Izuku's mom and him being the baby. "I'm not a baby, stop. I can eat with my own hands," he said, already done with the humiliation. "You're my baby, though." Say, she took his chin once again. "Babe, I said ICA." He was speaking, but when his mouth was wide enough, she fed him a spoonful of minced beef. The dragon of supremacy being fed like a toddler. This is beyond humiliating. Albion in his head was bawling his eyes out at the embarrassment his partner, currently on. Meanwhile, at the other table, Momo Yaoyorozu with her new acquaintance Kyokajiru, sharing the same thoughts at the pink-skinned girl and the humiliated pretty boy. "They do realize they're in the cafeteria, right?" Jiru asked Yaoyorozu. "I guess not, but it's sweet of them," Momo replied, with her hand covering her mouth. A sheltered girl like her doesn't have a single clue about romance, although romance novels do fill that gap. True, but it's a bummer to know he's taken already. Jiru's eyes gazed longer on Izuku. Looks like someone's got a crush, although I can't fault you for that. Momo's gaze also lingered to Izuku, his god-made jawline, his green, unkempt hair, and his emerald eyes that sometimes glow. Hey, I don't have a crush on him, said Jiru, who seemed to have a little blush on her cheeks while defending herself. He does look good, can't deny that. She said, far more charismatic than every guy in our class. He's confident, too. One thing I lack, she added. At another table, with Katsuki Bakugo, who was alone on one table. Just where did this Bravo came from? He's supposed to be quirkless. How'd he get in with that lousy divide thingy he pulled? He's staring daggers right towards Izuku, who was still being fed by Mina like a baby. I'll put you down in your place. Just you wait, he said, while stabbing the pork on his plate. Just you wait, Deku, eyes glowing with rage. You made me look like a clown? You've been hiding a quirk after all, you faker. Are you sure you have what it takes to dominate everyone, Katsuki Bakugo? An ancient voice within Katsuki's head spoke. Huh, what was that? Who are you? He yells, trying to figure out who was messing with him. I am asking you a question, brat. Can your will of domination surpass everyone else? Can you stand up to anyone? The voice in his head continued. Of course I can. I am the best. These people are nothing but extras. Katsuki replied back, anger evident on the tone of his voice. Then show me your domination. A light enveloped Katsuki's hand. Then a red gauntlet manifested on his arm. Prove me right for choosing you, Katsuki Bakugo. The ancient voice inside his head spoke with just dominating tone, and he smirked, Katsuki feeling the overwhelming vortex of power within him. Don't have to tell me twice, ha ha ha. He laughed. He feels like he's on top of the world with this much power. Meanwhile, on the other table, Izuku was watching Katsuki, his lips curled up into a smirk. Didn't expect the boosted gear to suddenly manifest, but still it won't change anything. Izuku has access to Balance Breaker, Juggernaut Drive, and even a hidden trump card if things did go south. So he's not afraid of Katsuki, who just got the boosted gear. You are right, partner. Even with the help of that senile, old fool Red Dragon, his new host still couldn't scratch you. Izuku nodded at Albion's response. But it makes me wonder, though, what happened to Issei Hayudu? Even Izuku was curious at that. From what Albion told him, Issei Hayudu was supposed to be the strongest Red Dragon Emperor. So how come? There's a boosted gear here on their world. Wait, this signature, this isn't the Draig I know. This feels weaker. Izuku's smirk widened even more. Looks like even with that thing, he's still gonna have a hard time. Izuku added, it's quite funny hearing you call Draig a thing. Don't mind me, I just find it funny. Albion found it very, very amusing that his own partner called his arch-rival a thing. At least now, I have a reason to beat him up. Add the middle school and high school bullying he did to me. Now, I have more reason to do it. Izuku paused, and his partner was curious until his mind arrived at a conclusion. Partner, are you sure about this? Albion asked. He knew his host was adamant on his decision. Yeah, I offer my heart to exchange into that of a dragon's. Giving me a dragon's heart also changes my entire body, so in the end, I'll turn into a hybrid. He ended while Albion added something. A hybrid, a human with the urges, strength, and abilities of the dragon who gave its heart. Izuku smiled at that. He knew his plan was genius. So that will give me enhanced instincts, that of a dragon, and other boosts to myself like strength, potential, and durability, plus I'd gain some white scale. Albion liked that part of his partner. If you say so, just expect some scales on your shoulders and below your cheeks. That's where it normally appears, he informed his host. Knowing full well, at least on this world, it's not supernatural for someone to gain scales and have draconic properties. Thanks, partner, he said while grinning at Katsuki, who didn't saw him. But Izuku's eyes, it changed color. His formerly emerald green eyes were now golden yellow, and it's flowing with a red slit on his pupils. Let's see who's the better dragon, Izuku thought, releasing his draconic aura and intent to kill, and saw Katsuki jump out of his seat, hands up ready to fight whoever released that. TCH. With just that amount of killing intent and draconic aura, he jumped out of his seat like he saw a ghost, Pathetic Izuku pinched the bridge of his nose, disappointed of Katsuki. He's more of an embarrassment than Issei Hayudu in his early life. Albion added, much to Izuku's chagrin. Although I want to try something. Now that he is Draig, then this plan would work on him. It's evil, I know, since considering I am now a dragon, but he deserves it. Izuku said to his partner, while Albion's eyes widened. The dragon didn't knew that his partner would go that far. No, partner, you don't mean you'll even go that far. Now, some part of Albion is even afraid of his partner's train of thoughts. Oh, you bet I will, Albion, I will. As he picked his phone up, dialing a number. Katsuki Bakugo, now having power and a voice of dominating tone inside his head, just got more confident and arrogant. TCH, that Deku found himself a girl. That thing doesn't matter. I'll find a girl too. I'm better than that stupid Deku. Then, he felt a tug behind him. Hey there, cutie, got a minute? The red head greeted him. Yeah? What do you want, tomato head? She just smiled at his weak attempt at an insult. I was just curious and all. You seem to hate that woman Mina's handsome boyfriend. Katsuki's forehead grew a tick mark. He's pissed off at the mention of Izuku. Wait, did you just call that pink alien gal? You extras have a past or something. She smiles. We do, are at a long one since middle school. Katsuki smirked at that, an ally to take that Deku down. Go on, I'm listening. He waited for her story. You see, she took the spotlight from me. Every year, she's always everyone's favorite friend, and everyone admired her. That spotlight should have been mine. She yelled, while Katsuki smiled sinisterly. I think we're going to have a good chat, he said, while both of them locked eyes at each other. Oh, we'll do. I'm sure of that, she said, while both gained the same smirk. Ha, you heroes are weak. Weak, a villain yelled, arms covered in muscle fibers, and hurled a card at a hero. You're all weak. Then, the dragon hero arrived, so save the day. The dragon hero? Finally a challenge, yelled the excited villain. I'm weak, I can't fight muscular alone. I need backup, thought the dragon hero Ryukyu. Deep within her soul, within the depth of her transparent soul, a figure revealed itself, as a voice resounded in her ears. I will help you use my strength. Ryukyu heard the voice, feminine and pride ooze within her tone. Who are you, she asked, while grasping her own head, while muscular looks at the heroine like she's crazy. Looks like the hero lost her marbles from fear. I thought I was going to get fight. Then, muscular feels fear the very next second. Ryukyu, who is in her dragon form, suddenly grows far stronger scales. It's blue with silver accents. Her eyes glowed golden while she looks at muscular menacingly. Make good use of my power, and find my mate. The feminine voice inside her head spoke, as Ryukyu heard the voice's name. Fine, you got a deal, so thanks for this power up. Feeling the power boiling within her, she thanked the voice. Tiamat. Heroes stood on the sidelines at two. Beasts fought with one another. Didn't know Ryukyu could have blue scales. One random hero spoke up, only for almost everyone there to agree. Do we even need to get in between them? We need to help Ryukyu. He was smacked at the back of his head. Ouch. The heck was that for? He asked the woman who smacked him. Are you an idiot? We'll be a liability for Ryukyu rather than helping. Those two are out of our league, she exclaimed with anger while pointing at the two clashing powerhouses. Your resolve is not enough. Your assimilation of my power is only 3%, which isn't enough for that villain you're facing right now. The voice guided her movements and pointing out the open gaps in Muscular's attacks. Left leg kneecap, he's arching it forward, strike it. Ryukyu did what Tiamat asked her to do and acted on it, striking Muscular's left kneecap, dislocating his knee. Arg, you Dragon Beach. I'll take your head for that. Muscular lunged forward, towards Ryukyu, who dodged his attack without much effort. You're losing the assimilation state in this fight right now. Aim for his vital organ. It's you or him, pick now. Tiamat yelled. Within Ryukyu's head, and hearing that while feeling the power spike that happened to her, slowly fading away. In the tense action of the fight, Muscular was about to pummel her head with a powerful punch, but Tiamat adamantly continued yelling inside her head. Act now. Morals be cursed. With that, her sharp claws shake for a moment and used the full force of her arm, and lunge it on Muscular's stomach. And at that very moment, she loses her transformation, forcing her back to her human form. No, her legs met the ground, kneeling as the power faded since her body had already reached its limits. Ha ha ha. Looks like I was lucky. This is a promise, you Dragon Beach. I'll kill you the next time we meet. Muscular, grasping the gaping wound on his stomach, began to run. Come back here. Come be a Ryukyu lost consciousness. While the watching heroes ran to her aid. He's already hurt. Go after him. One commanding heroine urged the others, who acted on her orders. Hey Ryukyu-san, come on. Open your eyes. She hurriedly put her head on Ryukyu's chest, and she sighed. She heard a rhythm of heartbeats. Thank God she's fine. She then, with her unnatural strength, took Ryukyu's unconscious body to whoever the ambulance were. Meanwhile, Ryukyu, within her mind, she was floating at the deep expanse of the white space where nothing could be seen for miles on end. Where am I? She looks around, seeing nothing. What's this place? Then, a voice behind her spoke. I've been waiting for you. Child Ryukyu looks where the voice was and saw. Are you Tiamat? Then, the figure nodded in affirmation. Yes, I was the voice who spoke to you. The soft voice of Tiamat made her calm down. I will explain who and what my purpose is here. Please, listen to me very carefully. Izuku was just doing his usual walk down the hallways of UA until he felt it. What was that? That was a dragon, wasn't it? He asked his partner. It was partner, but from the weak signature, I can't determine who. Albion said to his partner, while said partner just look at a direction far in the distance where he felt the energy of a dragon. I'll leave it off at that. Maybe it was just Ryukyu or something, maybe her quirk awakened or something. As he took out his notebook, Hero Analysis for the Future, Volume 16. I can't write it down. Who knows whose quirk was that? I just have to find a second-year senior document for my hero analysis, he said, ignoring that surge of power, and he stride to where the second years might hang out, and he'll take the chance to ask them questions. To the victims, he said while searching for his new victim. He found one. Nijire Hato. Hello, senpai. Good morning. Can I have a bit of your time? He said, while smiling at the beautiful, pale, blue-haired woman. Oh, what's this? I don't mind. What's your question, little Kohai? Her airhead energy goes well with his curious nature. Did she just call me little? I, for one, would like to disagree. Mine is 9 Ink. Albion mentally smacked him on the head, not wanting his partner to continue with his train of thoughts. Stop right there. Stop flexing your PP, partner. The dragon within him mentally pinched the bridge of his nostril. And whatever. Let me have my moment, you albino lizard. Izuku then goes with his question. I just want to ask about your quirk. MS? He held out his hand, and she took the handshake. Oh, are you an analyst or something? That's awesome. My quirk is wave motion. Lets me project out energy in a spiral wave, but too much use can have a toll on my stamina and energy reserves. Izuku hastily scribbled it all down, much to her amusement and excitement. Have you tried a funnel motion when using it? Have you counter out the motion by making your hands go counterclockwise of your spiral? He asked like a machine gun. So this is how it feels to be on the receiving end. So fun. I haven't tried both of those ideas, but when I have the time, I'll try it. You seem fun to be around. You want to spend some time with your lonely senpai? Izuku pondered about her offer. I wanted to, but my girlfriend would get jealous. So do you mind if she comes along? He asked. Huh? Oh, no. She can come. The more the merrier. She exclaimed while Izuku took his phone out and messaged his babe to come with them. Babe. Hey, babe. I have a senpai here who wants to spend some time with me. Would you mind tagging along? She's really energetic like you. I'm sure you'll like her. Whoa. Really? Sure, I'll go. I want to ask some questions too, like how they train and stuff. Tell me when you guys decided we were going to hang out. Sure, just go to the water fountain. Wait for us there, babe. Okay, I'll wait there. See ya, baby. Izuku put his phone back in his pocket. Water fountain? She nodded. Let's go. As the two were walking, something sinister happened just on the other side of the building. At the teacher's lounge where no teacher was around, a portal of purple mist manifest. This must be the teacher's lounge. Good thing our little Trojan horse already got here, or we'll have no way of getting in here, said the purple mist, and the same mist took a few papers from teacher's table. I see. This must be the schedule plan for USJ. He took the paper containing several pivotal information of the school. He was about to warp out of the teacher's lounge until a blur destroyed the wall and took him by the neck. Both of them crashed outside the building. Who are you? Why do you feel like you're not even human? There's no soup here. Why do you feel like an undead? The misty man regained his composure. He can't be caught here. Who are you? While manifesting a warp portal behind him, the White Dragon Emperor, Izuku, punched the villain, or at least tried to, since the villain already disappeared before his fist could make contact. F it. He is slippery. Izuku pondered for a good 5 minutes. I need to tell Principal Nizu about this. He then sent a text to Mina saying he'll be late. He got caught up in something. Good call, partner. Inform the proper authority. The principal's office now, as he began to run towards the principal office wheel after he dematerialized his armor first. Izuku heard that pleading voice within that villain he fought. He ignored it while fighting him, but Izuku, with interest to why a dead body still contained a soul. As he whispered, the same words the soul pleaded while fighting the dead villain. Help me. Please. Save me, Shoyuta. UA Principal's office. Izuku barged through the door. Principal. We're under siege. They took some papers from the teacher's lounge. Nizu's eyebrows furrowed. What? Do you mean Midoriya-san? The calm and composed principal needed an answer. All right, let's talk, Principal. It's important. Izuku took a seat in front of the principal's table. I have a hunch why they took those informations. His voice wasn't the same playful guy. It's serious, very clear by the tone of her voice. It's about a gut feeling and statistical scenario I concocted that one of us within UA campus. Izuku's voice paused for a moment as he looked at the principal's eyes. Is a traitor. Aizawa woke up from an alarm. It echoes to his ears the moment he woke up. Emergency meeting? He asked himself. Then the speakers of the hallway turned on and the voice of Nizu spoke up. Please, all teachers come to my office post haste to cancel all ongoing classes. This is an emergency. Is what Aizawa heard before he grumbled. Wait, my quirk apprehension test to the students looks like I have to cancel it. He slapped his forehead. He literally slept through his supposed quirk apprehension. I guess I should go. Just what's so important that Principal Nizu called for all the teaching staff out of the blue. As he composed himself and folded his sleeping bag. Principal's office. Currently, all the teaching staff are gathered within Nizu's office. I see. Now with all the staff gathered here, we're going to have a talk about an attack on the teacher's lounge. They all gasped. Some had composure, and some had a vocal reaction. What? The lounge got attacked? Midnight asked, confused why villains would even try to attack UA of all places. And why is the little listener here? Present Mike asked while pointing at Izuku, who was beside Nizu, drinking a cup of tea. Izuku put his cup of tea and composed himself. With all this staff, he needs to show proper showing of supremacy and calm composure. You see, Sensei, I was the one who got into an altercation with the villain who attacked the teacher's lounge. He showed the crumpled papers that the villain missed or dropped when running away. Midoriya, isn't that the schedule of the classes 1A and 1B? Aizawa asked a student who nodded. Yes, Sensei. The villain dropped it from where she, or whatever that purple cloud thing is. He ran using his own quirk, some sort of portal that lets people or themselves to travel from one point to another. Izuku rested the papers on the table. I felt that thing's life force. From what I felt, that thing can't even be considered human, so I tried killing it, but it ran away. Some teacher's eyebrow furrowed, hearing Izuku mentioning killing. Midoriya, why do you have an intent to kill a villain? All Might asked, confused why his student just mentioned killing out of the blue. It's not actually killing. That thing, whatever it is, isn't living. Someone did some experiment on dead bodies. Izuku slammed his hand on the table. That's when everyone felt the air within the room became thick, the weights of his words over them. Everyone felt Izuku's killing intent as he spoke. Someone is trying to play God. I could feel the soul stuck in that container. I heard its voice, it's repeating in my head like a broken record. All Might interested, since this sounds like All for One. What did the voice say, young Midoriya? All Might asked, then Izuku coughs and continued. Save me, he pointed at Aizawa. Shoyuta, Aizawa, on his seat began to shake. Mike on his left side and Midnight on his right began to comfort the man. Over and over again, the voice pleaded. Izuku added, as tears began to roll down the trio's eyes. It can't be midnight, still crying with her hand covering her mouth, still processing the information given them. You sound like this trapped soul has connections with you. Sensei's midnight, hearing Izuku asking them. She walked towards him and hugged the poor boy. I know this is vague, but it sounds like the old classmate of ours. Midoriya, please look into my eyes and tell me more. Midnight then cupped Izuku's cheeks, wanting the boy to reveal more. Izuku saw the broken lady, who cupped his cheeks softly. Aizu, please, she looked so pitiful. So having pity for the mature woman, Izuku continued. Please, Nem, calm down, I still have something to say. Izuku pried off her hands on his cheeks and continued with speaking. I still have another important thing to say, since with my sensitive dragon hearing. I heard the villain say something before I slammed him through the glass. Izuku paused, walked to Nizu, and took the rook piece on Nizu's chessboard. I heard him say about a Trojan horse. Izuku raised the rook piece for everyone to see. So I'm sure of my words when I say this. Yue has a traitor then. He looked at the teachers one by one and spoke again. It's not one of you. I heard the villain mentioning that their Trojan horse has been there in the lounge once. Putting the rook piece back down. So I doubt a teacher has only spent one time inside the teacher's lounge. Crossing his arms, I say a student is the traitor, a student who has the determination to work with a villain. Izuku finished. You're not saying that we'll have to doubt every single student out there, right, Midoriya? Blacking asked. I already have my suspicions, but I'll keep it to myself until I gain more dirt on him. Izuku said, while Aizawa and Nizu were the ones who caught the clue in Izuku's words. Him? Both Nizu and Aizawa voiced out. Yeah, Izuku now began to walk toward the door. And about the killing part, it's personal to me then. They felt Izuku's killing intent doubled. A villain who took my loving mother's life, I will find him. Izuku at them, and show him the wrath of a dragon. And I'll take out his heart from his living body. Izuku closed the door behind him as he left the room. Everyone took a few moments to process his words, and Nizu, who first gained control of his instinct. Aizawa have eyes on Midoriya. Make sure no one pushes his patience, Nizu commanded. And Aizawa took that order to heart. He knew how dangerous Midoriya could get. He felt that unbearable intent to kill. Yes, sir, you felt that too, didn't you? I have to go. I still have something to talk with him. Midnight excuse herself and goes after Izuku. Nizu, being an amalgamation of several animals, meaning he has strong instinct. So it's a given he felt Midoriya's intent. It scared him. Yet everyone heard the stutter of Nizu. His intent to kill far surpassed any villain I faced. Both Aizawa and All Might thought. Give him everything he wants, a place here in UA if he wants, some favors or whatever he wants. If he's caught doing anything with his girlfriend on school grounds, ignore it, give him special treatment. Nizu said, while a picture of a white dragon from the entrance exam was projected on the huge TV. I don't want that against us, so treat him special from other students. I know this isn't right, but this is for the better. Nizu commanded his staff as they all nodded. Aizu, I need to talk with you. Please stop walking. Izuku was grabbed by Midnight. Then what do you want? He asked. I need to tell you something. I adopted someone, a little girl. She then focused on the most powerful part of her, letting out something, and as the light dissipated, Izuku's eyes widened in shock. A person appeared. Ophis. Both Albion and Izuku were in shock. Fate had just kicked Izuku Midoriya in the nuts. People he feared are powerful dragons and gods, and the person before him is both of that, a dragon god, and it's Ophis, no less, the dragon god of infinity. Safe to say, Izuku almost wet himself. Albion himself was shivering his timbers. A partner? I'm not seeing things right. A sweat drop on his forehead. His finger was shaking while pointing at the little girl in front of him. Partner, as much as I want to console you, no, you're not seeing things. His partner assured him. He then got on the little girl's level, crouching down. You sure? Izuku said while pinching Ophis by the cheeks. You sure this is real? Albion almost died out of frustration from his partner. For Christ's sake, is handling the dragon of infinity like she's some normal little girl. Let her face go, partner. Don't make her angry, or we're both dead. Albion screamed inside Izuku's head, while the latter grasped his head from the irritating voice of his partner. Hi, father. Mother Namiri said I could spend time with you. She said so casually. Albion officially died because of that. Albion, why is she saying I'm her father? No reply. Izuku sighed. Albion. Still no news from the dragon. Albion. Still nothing. For God's sake, now I'm the father of the dragon of infinity. Just what did you say to her, Namiri? Much to his chagrin, Ophis looks at him and spread her arms. Up, father, uppies. Izuku for a moment stopped working, his brain fried. As a minute passed, he gave up and took the little dragon. He rested Ophis between his arms. Thanks, father. She said so emotionlessly. Oh, now that's cute. You look like real daughter and father. Namiri teased. No, Nim. Don't even a tick mark over forehead, clearly irritated. Come on, you gotta admit you do look the part. She gave him a wide smirk, much to his chagrin. Now about the mommy part, I don't mind filling the part, while you fill me up. She charmingly, but Izuku's ear. Nim, we're only student, and teacher stopped. This is illegal. He wanted to stop her, but his own heat was stopping him. Who says it's illegal? You're already an adult, plus he inched to his cheek. It's only illegal if we are caught. She licked Izuku's face, while Ophis looked so confused and lost. Albion, if you can hear me, divide me now, divide. Izuku's plea inside his mind echoes as Albion didn't hear one bit. You useless reptile. Izuku walked the hallways with Ophis in his arms, who, mind you, still hasn't earmuffs. Whatever he and Midnight did, the little child in his arms didn't hurt a single thing. I swear, Albion, you're useless when I needed you the most. Izuku screamed in his mind. How is this my fault? You're the deviant who can't control his own energy. That's not my fault. That's yours. Retorted Albion, who was pissed off that his partner put the blame on him. Maybe it's my fault. Izuku pondered whine. Albion sighed at his partner's expense. Yes, it is. Albion huffed in Izuku's mindscape. Izuku wanted to drop a bomb in his classroom, so the moment everyone was there. Classmates, we've been attacked. The alert just an hour ago wasn't just a warning. Someone is plotting against us. Ida, who was confused and worried, raised his hand. Midoriya? Izuku nodded. How are you certain that somebody is really trying to attack you, eh? And it's not just the reporters? He asked, while Izuku huffed in agreement. Sure, the guy was right to ask that question, but think outside the box, guys. Can you really say for certain that a reporter would go that far? Their network is at risk if they have done that. Izuku raised his finger again. Second, I met their recon guy who wanted to steal important documents from the teachers. Even fought to him. Luckily, he only got a glimpse of the documents before I divided him. Izuku finished, much to almost everyone's astonishment, that he gone toe-to-toe with a villain while still being a student. That's awesome, man. You're manly, Midoriya. Kirishima praised him. Awesome if that quirkless one isn't lying. But Kugo grumbled to himself, who was given a sneer from Izuku. And yet this quirkless one beat you up. Nothing new, their villain. Izuku retorted while Bakugo wanted to bite back, but couldn't. This son of a is pissing me off, he thought. Do not be tempted to bite back, partner. You'll just prove his point if you do. Drake said inside his mind. I know that he is egging me on. But Kugo grumbled, not saying a word. Now that's done. I want to add something. He pointed at everyone in the class, one by one. Something the matter, baby? Mina questioned. Yes, something is exactly a matter right now, babe, one of us. He paused for dramatic effect. Is, hey, traitor. With his magnified, he glanced at everyone and saw a reaction. Someone shivered. Checkmate. His eyes landed on Yuga Aoyama, but quickly he dismissed it. How are you certain with that, Midoriya? Momo Yaozu, the second brightest mind in the classroom, clearly wanted more closure with her own theory as to why Midoriya thinks like that. Because beautiful goddess of Class 1A. He winked at Momo, who in turn doesn't know what to think. Is he flirting with me? Doesn't he have a girlfriend already? She thought. A baby so unfair you called Yamamo beautiful and a goddess. Are you cheating on me? Mina playfully said. Come on, babe. Can you blame me, though? He protested, and Mina nodded, seeing his point. Ahem, now back to the point. The villain I fought specifically said, Trojan meaning an insider, to be close, to be friends with us for assurance. Whoever planned this, they're too dumb to think I'd never see through this. He sighed, be vigilant. The traitor may be just closer than you guys think. Izuku walked towards Aoyama and stopped just beside him. You can't sparkle your way out of this one. Now shine, little spy. He whispered, to not arouse suspicions. He always go to almost everyone. Which a brand of hair dye for Kirishima. Then he goes to Hagakure, then to everyone as he whispered random things to their ears. He didn't let anyone answer as he moved to the next. He didn't raise anyone flags and made sure to ask questions by whispering to everyone. Even Bakugo. For Bakugo, it's just a how are you? Still weak, I presume. And that pissed the blonde off, which gained him a F off Deku from the angry blonde. Maybe some of you think Bakugo is the spy because of how he acts, but no, I know this one is too much for him to the spy. Izuku rested his arms on Katsuki's head. Oh, that sweet baby, you see goodness in Bakugo. Mina squeals. F off, weird eyes. Bakugo yelled, which gained him a smack to the head thanks to Izuku. No bad-mouthing my girlfriend Bakugo. She's off limits, he said while Bakugo groaned from the pain on his head. Curse you, Deku, he growled. I love you too, Bakugo, Izuku teased while walking away. Just keep my warning in mind. Be vigilant. Our little spy is just close to us, mon ami, Izuku said, slyly as his mouth curled into a smirk. Momo Yaoyorozu's eyes widened. Mon ami? That's French, and the only one except me who could speak French is Aoyama. Her eyes locked with Izuku's own. Are you giving us a clue, Midoriya? She thought. She saw it. He winked at me. He knows what I'm thinking. Is he giving me signs? Momo thought while looking at Izuku. Izuku, on the other hand. He winked because he wanted to flirt with Momo a little. She's so cute while thinking. Wonder what she's thinking about. She looks so deep in thoughts. Izuku gave Momo a sincere. Izuku's sincere smile in her perspective was. Looks a little off, so she thinks Izuku is just confirming her thoughts. So I was right. He's pointing his finger towards Aoyama. Momo gasped inside her mind as her puzzle was formed. Thanks for the clue, Midoriya, Momo thought before giving a smile to Izuku, who somehow got it messed up. Why is she looking at me like that? Does she want to sleep with me? Was Izuku's hormonal thoughts. Perish such thoughts, you deviant. The voice Albion reprimands him. Izuku, when the break time bell rung off, awaited at a corner. He waited and waited for someone. When that certain someone was about to walk past him, Izuku grabbed their arm. Don't you dare scream, Aoyama. Izuku got his hand, covering Aoyama's mouth, making sure he doesn't scream. If you know what's best for you, coldly, he spoke while making sure Aoyama felt the blade on his side. You'll do as I say, or your glittery vital fluid will pool over this floor. He felt Aoyama nodding his head. Good, he said, because if you did scream, you know what happens. Aoyama nodded profusely. From Izuku, he felt true fear. He didn't know what kind of dark things Izuku Midoriya is capable of. So answer my question. Izuku let go of Aoyama. Now, speak, Glittery F. He said, who do you work for? When I mentioned there's a traitor, you're the only one who flinched and shivered like their cover was blown. Izuku traced Aoyama's neck with his blade, being careful not to slice it open. Midoriya, how Aoyama asked, fear coating his voice. I have slippery fingers, Aoyama. Don't test my patience. Izuku threatened while Aoyama cried, not of sadness, but out of fear for his life. I can smell lies, Aoyama. You can't hide from a dragon's nose now. Tell me, are you the spy or not? For a moment, for a second, Aoyama's world stopped. His body was being threatened. One of his feet was already stepping in death's door if he lied now. I'm gonna die, Midor. No, this monster isn't jesting. He'll really kill me. Aoyama, for the first time in his life, he felt fear that even All for One can't make him feel. Hey, All for One, I'm his spy. Aoyama got to his knees. Fear got the better of him. Izuku retracts his knife and puts it back in his back pocket. Good. Then have fun being the spy I won't tell. Izuku turned his back on Aoyama, who seemed shocked of what Izuku said. Midoriya, what do you mean? Aoyama saw Izuku, who almost didn't care and just shrugs at his question. It means what it means. They'll sooner or later find out. As for me, I'm keeping my mouth shut, plus Aoyama. Izuku whispered something to Aoyama. Do what you want, but the moment my girlfriend Mina gets hurt, just know you'll wish this All for One person killed you first. Izuku's tone was so cold that it sent shiver down Aoyama's spine. Why, yes, Midoriya, understood. Aoyama was shaking like a leaf. Midoriya is someone not to be messed with. Aoyama knew he wasn't kidding. Oh, before that, You tell me all for one's plans before they take actions. You're my little pawn now, he said to Aoyama, who nodded at Izuku's request. Good boy, now run along. He waved Aoyama off, who ran like his life depended on it. Izuku was left there all alone. You're planning something, aren't you? Albion asked. He knew his partner too well. You know me too well. Of course I am Albion, he spoke coldly, while watching the figure of Aoyama running away. Let's play a game of chess, all for one, he said before leaving. He saw Mina, who was trying to find where he was. Hey babe, come on. Mina jumped on him, as Izuku carried his princess while Ophis stood there confused, not having a single idea of what was happening. So she just goes along walking with her father, who has Mina coiling around Izuku's torso. Izuku, along with Mina and Ophis, had passed by Ibara Shiozaki, who was just eating in the cafeteria. Partner, it's her. She has what we need. It's twilight healing. Albion spoke with Izuku telepathically. I felt it too, Albion. It's still bugging me. How did a sacred gear found its way here? Ibara Shiozaki was minding her business when she felt a gaze fixed at her. Cafeteria. She's sharp too. She knows when someone has their eyes on her. Izuku added. Albion agreed that girl is too sharp to be just a normal student with a sacred gear. Was someone watching me? I felt someone had their eyes on. Is it one of those harlots again? I swear. Forgive them, my lord. Their body only acted by their instincts and lust. Ibara prayed for whoever was having dirty thoughts of her while watching her from afar. And she's a believer of the God of the Bible. Just wonderful. Albion grimaced. He and the God hadn't really see eye to eye. I'll have my eyes on her. Let's see what this maiden is hiding to herself, Izuku said, as his eyes locked with Ibara Shiozaki. He only gave her a sincere smile. Try not to look like stalker, since she saw him looking at her. Why is he smiling at me? Is this what Father Dulio told about stalkers? She thought, while her eyes still locked with Izuku's own emerald ones. But I do admit, he doesn't look like one. He seems nice, but why does he have that girl coiling around his torso? How unsightly, they're so vulgar. Ibara grimaced at the display of public showing of the two's love and clingy behavior. So, to not appear rude, she gave him a smile back. Though she's not capable of showing a smile, so in Izuku's eyes she want to sleep with me. I swear I'm right this time. I mean, look at her. She's like luring me in. Izuku thought, while Albion sighed. You're an actual XX deviant, you fool. Albion screamed in Izuku's mind. Oh God, Izuku wasn't having the time of his life. I mean, who would even endure the yell of a giant white dragon? Momo Yaoyorozu is a sharp woman. Her IQ test would prove that. It still bugged her how Midoriya was so calm while making her think that Aoyama is the traitor spy in their class. How did he find out, or even draw a conclusion that Aoyama is the spy? She thought while eyeing Izuku across the table. He's currently spending time with Mina and Ophis, who sat on Izuku's lap while the latter feeds her. You really are an anomaly, Midoriya. She grasped the hem of her uniform. Just how many steps had you prepared for? Are we really that far behind from you? She added, cursing her own lack of vigilance and reading people. Why am I so fixated on him? Time skip. Izuku had been chosen as class representative, earning a vote from Momo, Ida, Aoyama, Kaminari, Mina, Ojiro, and most surprisingly, Mineta. Thanks you guys, I won't disappoint. Izuku bowed in front of his class. You deserve it, Midoriya. Momo said, a little too blush on her porcelain face. Who voted for that, Deku? Bakugo exploded. And what are you expecting, dude? We're voting for you. Not happening. Kaminari replied to Bakugo's question. While before Bakugo could speak, Izuku glared at him. Settle down. As class representative, I'm ordering you to keep your mouth shut before something vulgar comes out of it. Be good now, Bakugo. Bakugo was seething at what Deku just said, but he couldn't do anything. Don't, partner, don't act rash. He's egging you again. Drake reprimands him before he could do something. I know. Shut up. Bakugo retorted back. Izuku saw Bakugo calming down and could only think. Good boy with a smirk on his face. So since Mr. Aizawa is still asleep, just review your notes, that's all, thank you. Izuku got back and sat down on his seat. After that, Mina texted him something. Pinky, glad you won, baby. Izuku, it's a given, babe. I always win, that's what I do. Pinky, That's what I like about you, baby. You're always confident about what you do. I wish I have that. Izuku, you wish you could have it. You can have IT later if you know what I mean. Pinky, you Odie, you know I can't say no to you. Izuku, I know, that's why I asked. Izuku puts his phone down and smiled at Mina. From across the room, she knew that look very well. Looks like I won't be walking tomorrow, she whispered to herself while looking at that sly smile that Izuku gave. Although Mina was still limping due to what they did yesterday night, Aizawa had informed them that today they'll be going to the USJ or unforeseen simulation joint. They all joined outside, a bus parking before them. All right, you guys, form a line. Boys and girls separated by 2 lines. Then inside you can pick your seats. Izuku commanded, while Jairu was first in line. Hi, you got a class for public, she said while getting inside. Izuku, who was beside the bus door, kept his gaze fixed on her, especially her rear. God, she got that. Izuku was interrupted by Albion again. Stop. I don't want that, but slapping dragon title again. Don't you dare, yelled by an already traumatized Albion. Wait a minute, Izuku looked back and saw her. Her eyes were locked with his own. You like the view, class rep? She teased before going in and taking a seat. Thank God nobody heard what she said. Maybe I do. That girl is unto me, I swear. Izuku thought while guiding everyone in order of getting in the bus. Mina is going to kill me for sure. Bus en route to USJ. Izuku sat in between Jairu and Mina, while Momo is beside Mina. I have something to tell you, class rep. Do you mind if we change seats there at the end of the bus? Mina spoke to him, while her fingers lingered around his legs. Sure, if it's really important, we do need the privacy. Izuku replied, while Mina nodded. The two made their way at the back of the bus, half their bodies covered by a set of seats. Why don't we start with this baby? Mina opened Izuku's zippers and plopped his lengthy and girthy anaconda out. Meanwhile, back at the others, Jairu wasn't having a good time. She could hear it. Do they know I can hear them right and I got turned on by just listening on them? Jairu could hear it. Every wet noise when Mina started moving Izuku's wet pee-pee covered by Mina's low acid that acts as lubrication. Are they exhibitionists? Why are they doing here of all places? She saw Izuku, who was giving her a sly smirk. Oh, now you're biting back. I'll get you back for this, Midoriya, she said with her cheeks flushed from the wet, sloppy noises her jacks are picking up. I hate this day already. She pouted while making sure her legs were closed. The heat her body felt is unbearable. Add Izuku's draconian aura, it made it worse. Unforeseen simulation joint. Entrance. They had arrived. Okay, guys, let's see what Aizawa-sensei has in store for us, Izuku stated before going inside first. Well, he's excited. Come on, you guys. Mina excitedly followed him, much to Aizawa's tiresome sigh. Kirishima walks with Izuku. You sure have an awesome costume, bro. Izuku scratched the back of his head. This costume was Izuku's own hard work. He didn't request it from the support course, but commissioned it from a well-known tailor. Ah, shucks, man, it's not much, Izuku said, a little embarrassed that someone is praising his hero costume. You fool, stop acting so embarrassed. We're proud dragons, Albion exclaimed. Albion, you idiot, I sound like an idiot. When I'm proud, so give me a break. Albion sighed at his partner's idiocy. They all walked, Mina clutching Izuku's hand as the two walked like an actual married couple. Since we're here, come on, say cheese, baby, Mina said while holding up her phone, taking a selfie of her and Izuku. Gosh, we're so cute together. I'm posting this on my Insta Hero. Much to Izuku's chagrin, Hero hopefuls in several other schools have been flooding his private message and Insta Hero. He hated that. Too much praise and meat writing about him. Dozens of girls had sent him their private photos, even though he got tired of it, even when he's a healthy, young adult male. All right, you two. That's enough, we're here, Aizawa stated, reprimanding the couple. Whoa, it's awesome, dude, Kaminari said while nudging Tokoyami's side. Careful, he retorts. A figure appeared, coming out of one of the pillars. Good morning, students. I'm going to be your co-professor for today's lesson. I'm Pro Hero TH. Somehow, her name drop was stopped by none other than Ochako. 13. It's Pro Hero 13. It's really her, she exclaimed. The very excited tone of Ochako Uraraka made everyone chuckle except for 13 and Aizawa. As they approached the stairs, Izuku felt something. "Wait, stop," Izuku commanded, as everyone took their undivided attention to Izuku. "I'm feeling something." Izuku pointed an area. "There, at the fountain," Izuku shouts, and the fountain materializes a gassy purple smoke, too thick to be even called a smoke. It then formed into a portal, swirling with a hand coming out. Dozens upon dozens of villains began to come out of the purple portal. "Are those fake villains?" "Awesome, UA's the best," Kirishima shouts, while Aizawa gets in front of them. "No, those aren't fake villains. 13. Get the students out of here," Aizawa stated, commanding his colleague. "All right, I'm on it." 13 nodded, then went to gather everyone up. "You heroes, you will swim in your own pool of vital fluid, and you lower-ranked players with no experience points, you'll be the sacrifice to bring All Might here." A pale man with pale blue hair exclaimed so high that even at the steps every student heard it. Izuku looks at Aoyama. "So this is the attack you're talking about. Good, now I can have some fun," Izuku thought while gazing back to the villains, the mere grunts of the bunch, then to the mastermind, Tamura Shigaraki. "Ha ha! Why are you even speaking in D terms? You neat." Izuku arched his hand forward and aimed it at Shigaraki. "You stupid hero grunt. You're gonna pay for activating your aggro ability on me," yelled the said villain. "I'm a high-level player. You're just a grunt," yelled Tamura Shigaraki, already agitated. "That's where you're wrong, crusty lips," Izuku exclaimed, spreading his arms. "Because in this little game you call life, I'm not a grunt, nor a player." Izuku paused before smirking at Shigaraki. "I'm the admin," then pointed at Shigaraki. "And you're hereby banned from life," he stated before rushing in. Izuku's thoughts. From what Aoyama said, this guy with the warp quirk, along with this crusty lips pale blue hair guy, is the most dangerous piece in the board, than that hidden weapon that Aoyama mentioned. "Hey Albion, scan any availability for hidden villains," I said to my partner. "From the Draconia magic circles, I'm picking up a necro-based humanoid creature just beside the pale-haired young man." Albion replied to me, then, "I don't have any choice. I need to act, and now is the greatest time to do it." Izuku was moving fast, making sure he dodged attacks from Kurogyri without being warped away by said man's quirk. "Baby, be careful," Mina shouted at him. She's shaking from her unrivaled concern for Izuku's safety. Izuku nodded at her for a second and continued evading attacks from Kurogyri. "You're sloppy misty," Izuku taunted. He wanted the villains to act on their anger and cloud their judgment. "And crusty lips, buy a lip balm and a lotion. You're so dry that the Sahara Desert looks better than you." By saying all of that, Izuku had pushed Shigaraki's nerves. He knew how a sheltered guy like Shigaraki would get into his skin. "Shut up, you NPC. I'm skipping your dialogue." Shigaraki lunged forward, fingers ready to disintegrate Izuku the chance he gets. "The heck are you talking about? This isn't some in-game storyline interaction. Touch some grass," Izuku yelled before stopping on top of the water fountain, looking down at Shigaraki and the mist villain. "You're pissing me off. Can't believe an NPC could aggro me," Shigaraki yelled while lunging towards Izuku. "Since you have so much hands all over your body, let's add one to that collection," Izuku said while bringing out something. He focused and focused as the figure of Shigaraki. "You die today, hero," exclaimed Tamura as his hand arched to Izuku's torso. "Let's add one more to your collection. Here, let me help." Shigaraki's eyes widened. "Master Tamura," Kurogyri yelled, both concerned and fear masking his voice. "Arg," Shigaraki whined in pain, clutching his arm that was missing a hand. "How was it? Did you like th?" Izuku paused. "Nomu kill the brat." Izuku felt a presence. Slowly but surely a person was being revealed as the camouflage quirk deactivates slowly off of the Nomu. "Oh no, this one is strong, but not strong enough." Albion heard his partner's roar for his armor. "Vanishing Dragon Balance Breaker," Albion announced, as the armor materializes over Izuku's body. "What do you think some armor can save you against Nomu?" "You're dead wrong, you stupid, overpowered NPC," Shigaraki yelled at Izuku while pointing at him. "Nomu, kill that brat right now." Izuku raised his brow at that commanding tone. He's thinking like hell, would that creature follow Shigaraki's command? Izuku was dead wrong, all right. The Noma did followed Shigaraki's command and punched Izuku. Was that supposed to hurt me or something? Izuku teased, while smirking at Shigaraki, who was seething in anger. How? Noma was supposed to be able to fight against All Might, revealed Shigaraki, who was shaking a little. That's the thing. Izuku paused while creating tension between him and the Nomu. There's just one problem here. You see why I'm just playing with your pet here? That's as strong as All Might. It's just simple, really. Izuku said while crossing his arms. He freshly sent Nomu to the fire zone. I'm just stronger than All Might. Shigaraki's eyes widened from shock and fear. He didn't know who this student is, but is not taking a risk. Get the backup here, Kirojiri. As portals opened and revealed several dozens of villains, and their faces were of anger and loathing towards the hero hopefuls. Is Midoriya really okay? I know he's stopping those villains to protect us, but what happens to us if he lose? Asked a Freighton Kaminari. He likes the guy, since Izuku is easy to talk to. You kids stay here. 13 take care of them. I'll help Midoriya. Aizawa stated before jumping into the fray with an intent to help Izuku. Fear was on everyone's faces, even Aizawa and 13. The most ones who were affected the most are Mina and Momo. Mina, who's Izuku's girlfriend, and fear clutching her heart, while Momo watched in fear and anticipation, while hoping Izuku would pull through. Be safe, baby, / Midoriya were Mina and Momo's shared thoughts. Izuku's thoughts. I can't let them go past me. My classmates would be endangered. I can't use Juggernaut Drive, or this place would crumble down. TCH, you're one prepared guy for someone who acts like a spoiled otaku brat. I taunted Shigaraki, while also punching the Nomu away to a corner of the USJ. Nomu, F it, why are you so strong? I laughed at that. Does he really think they're at the top of the food chain? These guys are hopeless. Kirojiri manifested a portal behind him, and Shigaraki. Young master, this is too dangerous. We must retreat now. Shigaraki for a moment lamented on those words. No, I won't fail. We'll kill All Might here and now. Shigaraki got his resolve back as the Nomu stands back up, already healed from the damage he took from one of Izuku's punch. He's distracted. Scatter the stew. Shigaraki was about to say something, but got cut off when Izuku's arm went through his abdomen. How's my GUD wrenching punch? He retracts his arm as Shigaraki's innards hits the ground as a pool of vital fluid formed below him. You monster, Shigaraki whined before falling into unconsciousness. Young master. Kirojiri didn't hesitate and manifested a warp portal beneath Shigaraki and closed it. Mark my words, the sensei will hear of this. Kirojiri spat with venom in his voice. Nomu returned. He commanded the beast, whom obliged, and went inside the warp portal. Oh yeah, your sensei. Tell All for One I'm waiting. He could be a good warm-up. Izuku spat back as Kirojiri's yellow foggy eyes widened at that statement. We'll see each other again, white-armored student Kirojiri, he threatened before going into his own portal. Izuku didn't follow them. He knew All for One will play his game. Izuku's thoughts. I will wait for you. All for One don't disappoint. Students and Aizawa, along with 13, ran to Izuku and dealt with the remaining grunt villains. Midoriya. That was illogical. Why would you ran to a fight head-on like that? A worried Aizawa reprimands him. Yes, Midoriya. I must agree with Eraser here. What you did was reckless. 13 added. Senseis, I am the class representative. I have my own responsibility toward my classmates, and their safety falls under my responsibility. He stated. The day went on, as the class goes back to UA and was given a week of no class days since they experienced a villain attack. Unknown laboratory. Shigaraki, within the confines of a see-through tube glass, his unconscious body floating inside the liquid substance, somehow healing his body for the meantime. Izuku, Midoriya, All for One, using his sensory quirks, looks at a student, his masterpiece that is Shigaraki. You did well, Tamura, but you ran into a wall without thinking strategically. Flexing his hands, All for One had one thing in mind. That powerful quirk will come in handy against my final dance with that oaf. Unknown laboratory. The masked man supported by many life supports known as All for One, the symbol that instilled fear in the hearts of several generations. He stood with his most trusted doctor, Kyodai Garaki, as the two looked at the tube glass where Shigaraki could be seen floating in some unknown clear liquid. He'll recover, master. He needs a few days for his body to get used to the quirk we got from Nomu and transferred to him, Garaki stated. While All for One hummed, he couldn't see clearly, but by some echolocation and hearing quirks he could make out Shigaraki's state. I can't believe he let himself be aggravated by a hero in training like that. All for One sighed for his student's incompetence. Noma didn't even have the chance to fight that blonde oaf. All he did was fight a student for a few blows. The symbol of fear paused. The data we got from Nomu isn't even worth it. I wonder what that vigilante-turned-hero in training has for a quirk that he defeated Nomu easily. All for One pondered, his mind already having some thoughts of it all, making theories in mere minutes. From what I can get from the CCTV systems in USJ, master, that man has a quirk that lets him summon a white armor over his body, and while donning the suit of armor, his strength goes into unprecedented levels. Garaki informed his master, who merely smiled sinisterly at the thought. A strength multiplier in the appearance of a suit? That would be a good quirk to add on my arsenal. He proclaimed. Dr. Garaka knew his master would try and take the quirk. I will have your quirk one day, one way or another, by any means. All for One, determined by any means to have that quirk for himself. He saw the videos. He knew that one quirk would help him greatly. Your day will come, Izuku Midoriya. Joke's on you, All for One, your days are numbered by one digit. Izuku sat through class once again. He knew something is about to happen. That somber look on Aizawa-sensei says it all. All right, you problem children. There's still one thing you need to prepare. Aizawa said. Kaminari shocked and decided to speak up. Another villain attack. Aizawa sighed at that. No Kaminari, no villain attack. What you students need to prepare is the upcoming sports festival next week. Everyone gains stars in their eyes. Finally, a stage we can shine on Drake. We'll show that Deku that he's below us. Katsuki Bakugo thought, while grinning like a creep, much to Izuku's chagrin, who knows a bit what that grin entails. Here we go again, another ego trip from Mr. Katsuki. I forgot a small PP, so I'm compensating Bakugo. Izuku sighed, then shook his head. At least I could get some fun out of this sports festival. He smiled. He knew people would see him shine, and most importantly, he has a mission. A mission to assure the minority, the quirkless population. He was quirkless once, so he wanted to give them hope. We'll fight in the sports festival for them, for their sake. As the recess time approached, and the bell rung, they all go towards the door as Ida opened it. Ida screamed like a girl when he saw so many people hounding them at the door. Excuse me, will you please get out of the way? My classmates and I want. Ida got pushed away. Someone clutched his face and waved him away to the side. That was rude, Ida exclaimed, clearly when with his patience, he's still getting angry at them. I mean, who would just push someone to the side by their face? So this is the popular class 1A. You guys don't seem much for a class who survived a villain attack. Some guy with purple hair said while entering the room. And do you amount to much? May I remind you, by your scrawny body, you're a general studies. Izuku got to him, towering over the arrogant kid who looked like he's sleep-deprived. Cocky now, are you? Just because you survived a villain attack. The boy bite back. Cocky? No. Confidence, yeah. What are you even so gung-ho about us surviving a villain attack? Our lives was on the line, and you're all here thinking like we deserve it, because we got some publicity. Izuku spat on the floor. He's clearly agitated. Baby, that's enough. Mina clutched her boyfriend's arm as Izuku's anger slowly calmed down. Look here, I don't care who you are, what your quirk is, but if you put my class down because we survive a villain attack, we're going to have a problem. Izuku felt another hand stopping him. Midoriya, let's just go. They're not worth it, Momo said, while doing her best of holding Izuku back. What do you mean by that? We're not worth it. You class 1A guys are a bunch of cocky ones. Some blonde-haired, weirdo-looking butts in and entered the classroom too. Nito Monoma. From 1B, Momo glared. She hated this trash for a person. He's cocky for no reason, and it pissed her off to no end. So what do you mean by we're not worth it? Did you honestly think you guys are better than us? Nito Monoma yelled, furious at what Momo said. Don't yell at her, you. but Izuku then felt an icy hold hand held Izuku by the shoulder. That's enough, class rep. Don't let them get into your head. Shoto Todoroki spoke in his monotone voice. Get out of our way, you extras. Bakugo yelled, meeting the blonde, Nito Monoma eye to eye. He's the one in front of them, trying to keep them in like some caged animals. Bakugo wasn't afraid to use his quirk, so he lets out a small explosion in his hands as a threat. Like I said, out of my way, extras. Some of the class agreed. You let us out. You're acting like villains. We're hungry. Uraraka, who didn't have breakfast this morning, protested since her belly was already growling. No further issue occurs, as the people spreads to open a path. Just her mentioning they acted like villains made them see what they're doing. UA Sports Festival Stadium. Thousands of people sat at all the chairs, accommodated by snacks and drinks. They all watched as the students were introduced. Give it up, you all, for the class that survived a villain attack. Class 1A. President Mike announced, as Class 1A lead by Izuku and Momo entered the stadium at the arena, along with their class representative who saved them single-handedly by fighting off villains at the USJ, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku sighed at that announcement. Now he got more light on him. Just great. Then there's their sister class, not as known as Class 1, but they're here. Give it up for Class 1B. President Mike didn't realize it, but he just thrown a shade at Class 1B. They entered, led by Itsuka Kendo, their class representative, a woman that instantly took Izuku's interest. Court big fist, I wonder what those hands could do. Izuka thought, you unhinged horn dog. Can you at least think for a moment without thinking about how you spread a woman's leg and them senseless? Albion yelled in Izuku's head. My bad, Izuku said while scratching his head. Other classes were announced by President Mike as they entered, one by one sections. Since everyone's here, Midnight's eyes lingered on the crowds of students, eager to prove themselves. It's time for the speech for the sports festival to commence. May I call the person who scored the highest in the entrance exam, even overtaking All Might's own record, and also the class representative of Class 1A. Midnight pointed at Izuku, for she saw late. Come here on stage, Izuku Midoriya. She shouts, announcing Izuku's name for everyone to hear. Izuku walked beside Midnight as she whispered in his ears. Make mommy proud now. I'll have Office visit Aizawa and Mike later tonight, and I'll have you to myself, is what she whispered in Izuku's ears. Izuku gulped down. He felt threatened by her. Both him and his PP felt threatened. Izuku rested the microphone in front of him as he prepared. So, I just want to say that today I'm fighting not just for myself. Izuku urged Midnight to bring out what he requested. I want to fight for the quirkless people. I want to give them a message. Izuku, with the help of Midnight, put something on his arms. I want to win this today to show you all. Izuku raised his arms toward the sky, quirk suppressors on both his arms. That even a quirkless person can be a hero, so that's why Izuku paused for a moment as he declared himself. I am here. The first match is announced. A race go around the whole area and return back to the other side, the finish line. Good luck, babe. Izuku touches Mina's shoulder, whom gave him a smile. You too, baby, she replied before the boom of buzzer resounded. Go. Everyone bumped shoulders just to get ahead of each other. Izuku's movement was inhuman. He dashed forward. Too slow, you little twerps, he remarked, ahead of the pack of hungry wolves trying to prove themselves to everyone. Seeing no choice, he got ahead. Shoto Todoroki didn't hesitate to put a glacier behind, slowing down other students, but Momo, Bakugo, and other students still got out of there by the nick of time. Get back here, Deku, I see hot. Bakugo shouts while using his boosted quirk thanks to Drake. He could only use 3x at best. Too slow, you idiots. I may not have a quirk, but I still divided your asses as an area of effect. Izuku thought while running, meters away from everyone. He's on the lead. Look at that, people. Midoriya, even without a quirk, is on the lead. President Mike announced. He's proving his point at least. Aizawa added on the stand with Mike. Back to Izuku. He got into the first obstacle in his way. Same old faux villain robots. He dodged an attack and cartwheeled his way of another faux robot's attack. These things get boring sometimes. Nothing new. Izuku whispered, then run ahead, leaving the robots to deal with other students. Said students were having a bad time. Are they trying to kill us? Why are these robots here? A random student from the support course yelled, using his propulsion boots to evade an attack. That's insane. Trying to get away. Folks, are you seeing this? Midoriya just got to his first obstacle, the fall. How will he accomplish this? Stay tuned. Mike announced while Aizawa beside him sighed. While with Izuku, he arrived at the first real obstacle, the fall. Looks like we're doing this the ninja way. Izuku decided to jump on the cable and began running on the cable, his body light as feathers, his whole body balance making sure not falling into the pits. Meanwhile, at the stands, some people are discussing some things. Are they sure his quirkless right now? Is that thing even working right? Some dumbass quirk-reliant hero said. He doesn't believe Izuku's quirk suppressors are working. I don't know, Ririnade, it looks like he's purely using his body's own balance and running through that cable like he's a trained ninja. Don't you see how Edgeshot runs on electric cables? Another hero butts in. Izuku finished to the fall and looking behind him. So those slowpokes finally caught up. Izuku ran again, picking up speeds and making sure it's under 30-50 kilometers per hour. Not for long, suckers. He yelled, then for a moment something caught his eyes. You gotta be kidding with me. Another set of those junks. He's unfortunately irritated by those robots. He closed the distance and run along the huge robot's arms. There you are, he said before kicking the button on the robot's neck, a safety feature that turns them off. Power Loader should put more thoughts on these robots. They're junky at best, no proper movement and agility. He murmured, whispered really. A moment after disabling the second faux robot, Izuku didn't even flinch. His body moved like water, controlled, honed, deliberate. He launched off the bot's shoulder and landed silently on a narrow scaffold, the metal barely shaking beneath his weight. And he's off again. Midoriya's putting on a clinic. Look at that body control, Present Mike roared. I've been watching his vitals. No boosters, no artificial enhancers. That's just pure training, Aizawa said, arms crossed. He's optimized every part of himself. Back at the obstacle course, Bakugo blasted through rubble, eyes locked on the green blur ahead. Curse you, DKU, he shouted. Who gave you permission to be this fast? Todoroki wasn't far behind, eyes narrowing. He's not using any tech. No quirks, just muscle memory. He did say he'll fight quirkless, but this is unbelievable, and I'm here handicapping myself. Shoto looks at his fireside, one he doesn't use. Momo, vaulting over fallen robot parts, frowned. It's like his entire body is trained to solve every problem. The second obstacle, the minefield, lays ahead. Izuku's breath slowed. His pupils dilated. Step. Pause. Click. Boom. A mine exploded far behind him, triggered by a pressure delay he calculated in his head. 3x3 spacing, shallow compression triggers. Power Loader's style is consistent. He leapt sideways, adjusted his balance mid-air, and slid across a slope with complete fluidity in his movement. Bro looks like a ballerina. Students in the back struggled. Some triggered mines, others used quirks to evade. One from the support course yelled, "Is that guy a machine?" Folks, I can't believe my eyes. Midoriya just predicted the entire minefield without help. Present Mix's voice cracked from the strain. No quirks, no support items. This is raw talent. No, not talent, Aizawa muttered. This is obsession at this point. Finally reaching the edge of the minefield, Izuku didn't pause. He sprinted straight toward the final stretch, the massive steel mountain designed to slow everyone down. Gravity, friction, instability. Izuku's mind calculated everything at once. He leapt, grabbed an edge, didn't stop. His arms burned, his lungs strained, but his grip didn't falter. His fingers were bloodied, nails cracked, but his focus never broke. Every movement was deliberate, controlled, like he had done this 1,000 times in his head. Below him, the others finally caught up. Get out of my way. Bakugo exploded upwards in a burst of fire, snarling like a beast. I'm taking you down, DKU. Can't hear you. I am winning. A distant yell from Izuku. Todoroki froze a slope and used it to climb quickly, while Momo built footholds. But even they were just now touching the midsection of the mountain. By that time, Izuku had already reached the summit. He exhaled. His chest rose and fell rapidly, sweat pouring off him, but he didn't stop. No support gear, no enhanced shoes, no grappling hook, murmured a pro hero in the stands. What the hell is this kid? Then a reply from another pro. He's what we could have been, another hero whispered. If we didn't have quirks to lean on. With a final, effortless leap, Izuku soared down the other side of the mountain, bending his knees on impact, rolling to absorb the shock-perfect form. He rose from the landing. As he ran towards the entrance of the stadium, he's reaching it. Dust flared behind him. The tape snapped across his waist. And that's it. Izuku Midoriya, the quirkless underdog, finishes first. Mike yelled. The crowd exploded. The ground beneath him quaked from the aftershocks of others finishing the race. But Izuku stood tall, panting hard, fists clenched at his sides. A camera drone hovered near. He looked right at it. No quirks. No excuses. Train harder. He yelled at the camera of the drone as his speech was broadcasted. Up in the commentator booth, Aizawa leaned back. That's going to stir up the whole hero world. The thunder of the stadium still echoed in the lounge halls as Izuku stepped through the door, sweat-drenched, stains drying on his palms, yet calm as ever. Every student inside shifted, eyes tracking him like he was some kind of anomaly. Because he was. No quirk, no support gear, just grit, speed, and brain power. Izuku didn't look at anyone. He walked to the nearest bench, sat down, and began rapping his knuckles with the medical tape provided. He moved quietly, methodically. Then, there he is, came a sing-song voice, soft but laced with pride. Mina Ashido jogged over and dropped down beside him, flushed and smiling. She leaned her cheek on his shoulder. You're insane, baby. Izuku looked at her sideways and gave a quiet smile. You're not mad I left you behind. You beat a fleet of faux villains, danced over mines, and climbed a death trap with no powers, she grinned. I'd be mad if you didn't. He chuckled faintly. You sure? I'm your #1 fan, baby. Always. Her tone was casual, but the fire in her eyes wasn't lost on him. Mina wasn't just supporting him, she was proud. Fiercely. The stadium stirred again when the heavy doors slammed open, and Midnight strode in with her usual strut. Survivors of the first round, she said with a dramatic flourish. Welcome to your next challenge. The screen behind her flickered to life, displaying bold, blinking letters. Cavalry battle. Groans rippled across the room. Standard rules. Midnight continued, except the stakes are higher. First place holder, Midoriya Izuku. She grinned at him from across the room. His worth 10 million point silence fell like a guillotine. Every eye snapped to him. Izuku looked up slowly, but he wasn't rattled. Just thoughtful. I'm dead, he muttered under his breath. If I don't use divine dividing here, I'm screwed. Not on my watch, baby, Mina replied brightly, hopping to her feet. You think I'm letting these vultures get near you? As the group scrambled to form teams, Momo Yaoyorozu approached with confidence. I'm assuming you'll be the rider, she said, eyes meeting Izuku's. That would be the smart move. It is. Izuku nodded. And I'm asking you to carry me. Momo blinked, surprised, then smiled. Understood. A moment later, Mei Hatsum appeared out of nowhere with a loud stomp of her mechanical boots. If you're not using tech, I want in. Gotta see how you do this, Raw. Izuku looked between the three of them. Momo, Mina, Mei. A solid base. Mobility. Defense. Power. I'll lead. You three carry me, he confirmed. Formation A, tight wedge. We rotate clockwise if we get boxed in. Mina left. Momo right. Mei center base. Keep me mobile, and I'll keep you out of trouble. You're the brain, baby. Just tell us where to go. Mina winked. In the stadium. And here we go, folks. Present Mick's voice boomed through the speakers. The cavalry battle is underway, and every team's got their eyes on one thing, the 10 million point headband. Team Midoriya stood tall at the center. Izuku sat upright on Mina, Momo, and Mei's shoulders, balanced like a commander on a war chariot. He scanned the field. His green eyes were sharp, cutting through dust, motion, and chaos. Tetsu, and Ibra. They're gonna try a corner rush. Mina, side shift. Momo, prep a shield just in case. You got it, baby. Mina yelled, already moving. Tetsu charged forward, and just as predicted, a vine whipped across from Ibra's side. Momo threw up a quick shield, and it ricocheted clean off. Push forward 2 lengths, Izuku called out. Watch the flanks. The team moved as one, trusting him without question. Meanwhile, Todoroki's team watched silently from across the arena. He's not just surviving, Todoroki muttered. He's commanding, like a general. Bakugo snarled from another corner of the field, eyes blazing. That nerd. I'm not letting him win again. Center of the chaos. Updraft incoming, Izuku shouted. Mina braced herself. That I got you, baby, she reassured. A sudden wind burst from a team using air manipulation, nearly knocking over half the field. But Team Midoriya held steady. Mei adjusted the center of gravity, Momo anchored their footing, and Mina instinctively leaned to counterbalance. Perfect coordination. Izuku adjusted his grip on the headband and grinned. Let them come. He grits his teeth. 30 seconds left. They were surrounded now. Multiple teams had converged, forming a loose perimeter. Hold formation. We drop back and bait them in. Then break left hard. He commands them as they steel their resolves. Just say when, baby, Mina said, steadying her breathing. Now, they moved like water. The others lunged and missed. Izuku's team spun out, circled wide, and cleared the crowd with meters to spare. BZZT. The buzzer rang. And that's IT, Prysmordia roared. Midoriya's team survives the storm and keeps the 10 million headband. What a masterclass in strategy. Izuku exhaled, finally letting the tension slip from his shoulders. He looked down at the 3 girls, all sweaty and tired but beaming. Mina looked up at him and smiled. Told you we got you, baby. He smirked. I never doubted you girls. He said. The battlefield had changed. Gone were the team strategies and terrain hazards. What remained now was pure, brutal simplicity, a wide circular arena, a single opponent, and the expectation to dominate or be dominated. The 1v1 tournament bracket hovered in the air on a large digital screen. Whispers ran through the crowd like sparks waiting to ignite. Match 1. Izuku Midoriya versus Hitoshi Shinso. Inside the prep area, tension crackled. Izuku stood still, arms relaxed, eyes sharp. His body was loose, but every inch of him was ready, coiled like a spring, waiting to strike. Mina stood beside him, arms folded under her chest, watching Shinso from across the hallway. Baby, she said, quiet but firm. I don't trust him. Izuku followed her gaze. Shinso was watching him, two-face, unreadable, still as stone. He's dangerous, Mina added. And not just quirk dangerous. He's desperate. Izuku's jaw clenched for half a second. Desperation isn't strength. I know, Mina replied, but it makes people reckless. He nodded, then turned to her. Don't worry. I've trained for this. Mina smiled faintly. I know, but just in case, remember who you are. Izuku paused. A dragon doesn't bow, not to anyone, not to a simple human, he said softly. Right, baby. She kissed his cheek. Now, go tear it up. Match 1. Midoriya versus Shinso. Begin. Midnight shouted. The buzzer sounded. Both students stepped into the circle. Shinso didn't move aggressively. Instead, he paced slowly, hands in his pockets. You think you're better than me, Midoriya? He asked casually. Because you have fans? Because they're calling you a hero without a quirk? Izuku said nothing. Shinso kept talking. You know what it's like being told you don't belong. So why are you standing where I should be? Izuku stayed focused, but his foot shifted. Come on, say something. Shinso taunted. And then, that's not what this is about, Izuku replied instinctively. His eyes widened a split second too late. He realized what he did. Snap! The world around him stopped. Everything dulled. His body stiffened. Limbs unresponsive. Eyes glazed. The crowd gasped. He spoke. Up in the stands, Aizawa flinched. Midoriya took the bait, and it looks like he's controlled. Mina stood up in her seat, hands clenched into fists. Baby, no. Why did you took the bait? Shinso smirked, stepping forward. That's it. Just a few more steps, and I win. You're just another person in the useless bin, like me. Inside Izuku's mind, silence, darkness, a void, floating in place, his own thoughts slipping. But then something stirred. A spark, a flame, a voice. Albion's voice roared back against the fog. You fool. Do not be controlled by a mere human. You're my partner. Partner, wake up. Fight through it. A resolve in Izuku lit up. A mere ember moments ago became an inferno. You don't own me. You're not the master of me. I am a proud and noble dragon. I will not become a puppet for you to feel accomplished. I made a promise. To people like me years ago who lost their flames. I will not give up. I'm Izuku Midoriya, Mina's boyfriend, and the White Dragon Emperor. Back in reality. Shinso stepped closer. One more step. Wham! Izuku's foot slammed into the ground, breaking the brainwashing. He looked up, eyes ablaze with sheer determination. The arena shook. The crowd went dead silent. What? Shinso gasped, stumbling back. Izuku stood tall. You don't own me. You don't have the right to put your strings on me. He said coldly. I'm a dragon. Izuku yelled in fury. He dashed forward, quicker than before, faster now with purpose. A swift leg sweep knocked Shinso off his feet. Before he could recover, Izuku grabbed the front of Shinso's jacket and threw him over the edge. Buzzed. Winner. Izuku Midoriya. Midnight exclaimed, while smiling at her little co-parent, Toofus. The crowd roared with renewed force, but this wasn't surprise anymore. It was awe. Mina raced to meet him by the tunnel as he returned, sweat dripping down his temple. You did it. She grinned, throwing her arms around his neck. I thought you were gone for a second. Izuku rested his forehead against hers. I was. And then? She waited. He smiled. And then I remembered what you told me. She beamed. That you're a dragon? No, he whispered. Then I'm yours. Before he planted his lips on hers, they kissed as the camera locked on them. God, was almost everyone's reaction. Should we be here? A blushing female hero watching on the stadium front seat. If they start doing it on the stage, I won't be surprised. A random guy said, somehow joking. Then they all saw Izuku was taking his PE uniform off. Mother FUC as they saw he only threw it away, and they heard. I stink. I need a new shirt. Izuku said, while holding hands with as they walked off. Oh, never mind, said the random guy, and breathed out an exhale in relief. Thank God. They didn't do it right then and there, horny, he added before laughing. Ha ha, you're just medianless, my guy. Shouts someone from a few more row of seats above him. He caught a stray. After a good few minutes, another matchup occurs like Todoroki versus Zero, and the outcome was decided before a battle could ensue. No offense to Zero, but that fight was already decided before it even started. Todoroki was just too powerful for someone like Zero, who has no advantage in a stage with no walls, pillars, or buildings he could latch on. Izuku sighed. He knew he was too harsh to Zero, but it was the truth. To he honest Midoriya, I share that judgment. It may be harsh of me, but Zero-kun is outmatched from the start. Momo Yaoyorozu shared her thoughts on matter. Yep, you did your best, man, but it's just impossible. Kaminari said, but gave a thumbs up to Zero, who was being thought out by Todoroki. At least he did his best, right, guys? He looks at Kirishima. Of course, bro. To be honest, even I can't fight to do bro on a one-on-one fight. Kirishima added, because you guys are a bunch of weaklings. I can beat that icy hot, no-prob Katsuki fella. Tug on his shoulder. Stop. Come on, I decided to come here with you, and you're going to be bragging. Come on, K-chan, that's enough. Let's just enjoy the fights. A lust-laced voice of a woman spoke. Whatever, tomato head, just shut up. And the mutt was calmed down. By the way, where did Midoriya ran off to? After his thoughts about the fight, he just ran off somewhere. Is he having some fun exercise? Why, Hagakure spoke up, somewhat curious, but was cut off by Mina, who was puffing her cheeks. I'm here, you know, as the girls laugh at Mina's expense. Meanwhile, Malty's phone buzzed, and she immediately took it and stood up and walked to the sides. Yes, she hummed, and curiously listened in to whoever spoke on the other end. Then, after a minute, she smiled. All right then, whatever you say, Daddy. She hung up the phone, before licking her luscious red lips. Then, she walked back to the stand where Class 1 AR and sits beside Bakugo. Who was that? He asked. Oh, nothing. It's just my daddy checking up on me, she said, while Katsuki scowled and said, whatever. He spout. Meanwhile, at the outskirts of the buzzing city, I will stop you no matter what hero killer Stain. A hero yelled. Ah, Ingenium, you're a true hero. I have no business with you. I don't hate you, but you have to stay out of my way. Stain spoke, malice laced in his voice, as he threw a dagger at Ingenium. Stain, Ingenium, you have hunted and killed far too many good-hearted heroes to be a free man, hero killer. Stain dodged a propelled punch from Ingenium. Good-hearted, you're far too naive. This country has a few good heroes, true heroes, and far more fake heroes. Stain retorted. The idea that the ones he killed were good-hearted heroes sickens him. If you knew what those good-hearted heroes did, you would have killed them yourself. Open your eyes. Stain almost cleaved off Ingenium's head, but the hero fortunately dodged in time before the blade could make contact with his neck. Let's settle this, hero killer. The stadium was buzzing with the crowd's energy, but the atmosphere in Class 1A's section was surprisingly chill. Izuku was leaning back in his seat, looking more relaxed than anyone had ever seen him. Ophis was sitting on his lap, looking as tiny and stoic as ever in her dark dress. She didn't seem to care about the explosions or the cheering. She just liked the quiet vibe Izuku had going on. Down on the field, the fight was basically just Mei Hatsum using Ida as a literal test dummy for her gadgets. Every time Ida tried to do something heroic, Mei would just activate another remote control piece of gear to stop him and explain how it worked to the crowd. The one with the glasses is very loud, Ophis muttered, her head tilting as she watched Ida sprint in a circle he clearly didn't want to be in. Izuku chuckled, resting a hand casually on her head. That's just how Ida is, Ophis. He's a good guy. He's just a bit too intense for his own good sometimes. I see, Ophis replied, leaning back against him. And the girl with the pink hair? She's also loud. That's Mei. She's definitely a handful, Izuku said with a smile. Just then, Mina Ashido leaned over from the seat next to him. She had been watching the match with a big grin, but now she turned her attention to the two of them. Her pink skin practically glowed in the sunlight, and she looked totally at ease. Hey, babe, Mina said, nudging Izuku's shoulder. I'm gonna go grab some drinks before the next round starts. You want anything? Just water is fine. Thanks, Izuku replied, looking at her with a soft, confident expression that showed exactly why they were together. Mina stood up and stretched, then looked down at the tiny dragon goddess on Izuku's lap. Never mind, I'll take her for a bit. You look like your legs are falling asleep. Why don't you get some snacks for us? You okay with that, Ophis? Izuku asked. Ophis looked at Mina, then back at Izuku, and gave a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. Izuku carefully lifted her and shifted her over to Mina's lap. Mina sat back down for a second, settling Ophis comfortably against her. Got her, Mina chirped, wrapping an arm around the girl. Go ahead and stretch your legs, babe. We'll be right here. Izuku stood up, giving Mina's hand a quick squeeze. Thanks. I'll be back in a few minutes. I need a parfait. Hopefully I won't bump into someone. Oh, Izuku, you unfortunate soul. As he walked off toward the stairs, Ophis didn't even protest. She just leaned her head against Mina's shoulder, looking perfectly content to stay with her, while the stadium continued to roar. I can't believe Izuku made me a stepmama. So cute. Mina cooed in her mind seeing her now, officially cute as heck daughter. Pinky Mama, I want that. Ophis pointed at Hagakura's ice cream. Ice cream? Sure, let's get one. Mama's gonna treat you. Hand in hand, Mina walked with Ophis away from Class 1A. I want a baby too, was all the girls' united shouts. Izuku leans in on the hall's wall, with his eyes closed. Took you long enough, so how was it? Izuku talked, as a shadow approached. Just how you planned it, Daddy. A sultry voice responded to Izuku. Her face isn't seen, only her figure veiled by the shadow. Good as Izuku looks below, seeing the porcelain skin of the shadowed woman on his waist. Give me a good spanking for being a good girl, Daddy. Izushi bit his ear, while Izuku looks at a green dragon insignia on her chest. My ears. My ears. Albion yelled in Izuku's head, having a panic attack with all these hot and sultry situations that Izuku is in. Meanwhile, at the stands, "Yeah, you okay, man? You're bleeding. Your nose is dripping down vital fluid." Kirishima asked Bakugo, worried that his classmate has bled out vital fluid through his nose. What th Katsuki tried standing up but fell on his knees, all the strength in his legs lost its vigor. Kirishima-kun, have Bakugo be checked by Recovery Girl. He has a match coming after this one. Momo Yaozu commands him. Since Izuku isn't here to take charge, she'll take the lead for now. On it, Yamamo. Kirishima excused himself and took Bakugo by putting Bakugo's arms over himself, dragging the nearly unconscious boy towards Recovery Girl. Kirishima, who was dragging Bakugo along, passed by Izuku. As the two passed by, Izuku smirked. "Hope you enjoy Dragon." When you fall, Izuku didn't hesitate to laugh like a madman the moment Kirishima and Bakugo turned around the corner. Minutes later, "Oh hey, Bakugo-kun's girlfriend." Uraraka, being the nice girl she is, waved at Malty, who smiled back at her. "Just call me Malty, Ochako-chan." Her smile was contagious that even Malty smiled at her. "Malty-chan it is. You have a wonderful name." She gave a thumbs up. "By the way, why are you limping, Malty-chan?" asked Ochako, who saw Malty massaging her behind, and she saw the lip bite that Malty did as if she remembered something. "Oh, this. I fell on my butt hard on the pavement. I should have watched where I'm going," she explained. Knowing Ochako Uraraka being an innocent girl, she believed it without asking more questions. "Oh, that's gotta hurt. Bad, I mean bad. Ochako also cupped her rear after hearing that, as if she experienced phantom pain just by hearing it. Some of the girls also heard it, praying for her fast recovery because she hurt her but badly. Suddenly, without a second of hesitation, Katsuki Bakugo suddenly ran away from them. What was all they heard from him. "Baku bro, why?" Kirishima wanted to check on his classmate, but Malty with her fake smile grabbed him by the shoulder. "Just let him be, he's pissed off." Kirishima just nods. Then they all look back at the current battle in the center of the arena. A one-on-one between Shiro and Shoto Todoroki. A one-sided something you can't call a beatdown. "This will be fun. Daddy would love it." Malty eyed a certain someone, who gave her a wink. Meanwhile, with Katsuki Bakugo, who just entered a comfort room. He's looking at a mirror, seeing himself having a nosebleed, while clutching his own chest. "What the heck is happening to me?" He snarled at his reflection. "Hey, you useless lizard, what's happening to me?" Katsuki asked the dragon living within him. It can't be. Drake's voice was grim. It was bad. Very, very bad. Dragons fall. You know what, for just the F's it might as well do this one. Heroes and villains better be careful. Izuku's girlfriend is a very, very hungry woman. If they hurt Izuku, it's bye-bye for Earth. She's about to make it her lunch. No, maybe not lunch, just a light snack. "Izuku Midoriya, ex-Galacta." "Yes, ma'am, Galactina," Izuku stuttered out. "It's Galacta, daughter of Galactus, idiot." As Izuku was flicked away straight to Mars orbit. Izuku Midoriya, the parasite boyfriend. With his power of absorption, he has been absorbing some power of Cosmic from Galacta, and is using it like some Ice Guide protagonist by being a mage with power of Cosmic. For normal humans, they see Izuku being able to use elements, but them not knowing it power of Cosmic. Izuku also has lore in Marvel Rivals universe. His this third voice budding in Galacta's voiceovers. Galacta, being the protective girlfriend, may have some powerful characters in Izuku's corners. So in My Hero Academia verse, there's some cameo of Marvel Rivals characters, like, for example, they aren't born, they're just summoned by Galacta to have some fun. Deadpool pissing off Eraserhead by being his self. The Merc with the mouth being the literal nightmare of Eraserhead. Now imagine present Mike and Deadpool in the same room, and Aizawa being the lamb to the slaughter. Loki transforming into Endeavor and getting naked in boxers and running around. Emma Frost flirting with Izuku just to get the kick out of it. Also, Izuku may have a few millions worth of diamonds from her. Spider-Man going together with Psylocke as Vigilante from time to time. Also a note, Galactus may have thrown a planet or two at Izuku at one time. Another chance has come again. A battle between Izuku Midoriya and Shoto Todoroki. The valiant hero who uplifts the moral of the quirkless people against the masterpiece of Endeavor's twisted mindset of surpassing All Might at all cost. You better not hold back, Todoroki, Izuku said while staring at Shoto Todoroki at the other side of the arena. Speak for yourself, Midoriya. You have a quirk-canceling handcuffs on you. Who's the one holding back between the two of us? Shoto retorted. Touché, replied back Izuku, pretending to be hurt by that statement. All right, then Izuku, then burn the handcuffs in a molten metal that didn't even burn his skin. What the flames? Shoto Todoroki's eyes widened in shock and confusion. That's not all. You do know everything is possible with magic. Well, draconic magic, that is. With that, Izuku began to simultaneously erupt ice and fire from both sides of his body, immediately showing what Shoto could have been if he stopped holding back. At the stands, it can't be he's the same. He is both fire and ice. Who is this brat? Endeavor raged from the stands. You shut your mouth, you overgrown, flaming salamander. Izuku glared at the stands where Endeavor stood. Come on, partner. Why are you using the magic of Draig and Seraphol Leviathan's ice magic? Albion was hurt. He sure was, since his partner refused to use his powerful venom against Shoto Todoroki. Think, Albion. He'd die from your venom. He's not a supernatural being. He's barely at the strength of a middle-class devil. The ones who can survive your venom are super devils, and that's barely surviving. Albion only let out an I get it before shutting up. How can you use both flames and ice, Midoriya? Just who are you? Shoto Todoroki asked. Meanwhile, Midnight just stands there. Should I even do my job? I'm still the referee here. Midnight asked herself. Okay, you two, that's enough. Midnight raised a gun towards the sky, pulled a safety pin, and bang, start. She wanted to ran away from there to make sure she's not a casualty of the match. But a little girl, her little girl Ophis, took her hand. I will protect you, mother, here. Ophis said before a magic circle appeared covering the two of them. The magic circle has the infinity symbol, a dragon devouring its own tail. Izuku stood there, with his dragon traits as by far the most sensitive to movements. He could anticipate Todoroki's move before he'd have the chance to execute it. So he's relaxed. He wanted Shoto Todoroki to move first, and he'll graciously respond with an appropriate counter. TSK, I don't have anything personal with you, Midoriya, but you're digging a hole you don't have the business of unearthing. Izuku's eyebrow raised at that. Oh, family drama. So who is it? Abusive mother? Abusive father? And judging by your reaction, I'd say Izuku arched his arm and pointed at Endeavor. An abusive father, perhaps? Izuku smirked. I was sure I hit him. He'd never come out of that. Shoto huffed out a breath of icy air. You did it, Shoto. Shoto snarled at the figure of his father. The ice exploded. Did you really think it would be that easy to take me down? If I am, I wouldn't be here right now. Izuku yelled as the fragment ice slowly melted. The air began to change climate. The icy air became hotter at the center of the arena. Izuku Midoriya stood there. This isn't over. This will never end until you use your flames. With that, the arena began to shake. Ryukyu was watching. She was at the roof of the stadium watching the event below unfold. This is bad then. A mental connection formed as she heard Tiamat's voice. I felt the presence of Albion, but is using the magic of Draig and the ice magic of Seraphol Leviathan. Just who is this boy? Tiamat said in interest, while Ryukyu's body is feeling an unbearable heat in between her legs. You are in heat. Use your energy to temporarily block his aggressive aura, or else you'll be forced to mark him as your mate. Ryukyu did what Tiamat told her, and now she's able to stand without the tingly sensation in her stomach and wet a hem PSSY. Then, Izuku and Ryukyu locked eyes. Before Izuku mouth, so you're here, Tiamat. As the battle continues. Let me show you the very definition of not holding back, Todoroki. I who shall awaken. I who shall awaken, Izuku said, as Midnight knew exactly what was about to happen. Her eyes widened, and knows deep in her heart that yes, she loves Izuku, but she still has a job to do. Don't do that. She glared at Izuku. She wanted that minuscule amount of chance that Izuku would listen to her. A transformation like that would cause an explosion of power that would wipe out half of this entire arena. So please, Midoriya, I advise you stop chanting. She reprimanded him and walked closer to him. She knows she can't stop Izuku and his unstoppable strength, but her job is to be a referee, and that is what she'll do. Don't worry, I got something way better than a juggernaut drive. Izuku smirked. What are you doing, Midoriya? Why are you stalling? Shoto yelled at him. He's already pissed that Izuku kept egging him on. Don't care. By the way, Office-chan, do you want to see something unique? Something no previous wielders of Vanishing Dragon and Welsh Dragon have ever done before? Izuku saw the glistening eye of interest Office had at what he said. Mama Namuri, I want to see what father has in store for me. I am curious of what he'll do. Let it continue, and I will protect everyone with my defensive magic circle. Namuri Kiyama glanced beside her and saw the glint of her and Izuku's adopted child. Office, are you certain you can protect everyone inside this arena? Since if you can, I will accept the match continuing. Midnight asked her child. Office didn't say anything, but nodded. Then a huge dome of magic formed over them, protecting the crowd from what's about to happen. Random crowd. Bro, what's this thick energy thing? The random crowd taps on the dome shield and realizes with a thunk that the shield is very solid. Midnight, are you sure you're letting this farce continue? Cementos asked her, knowing full well the secret relationship Izuku and Midnight have. In his mind, maybe she's just giving favoritism to Izuku. Let it happen. Shoto Todoroki needs a wake-up call, and Midoriya needs to see something else rather than just power. She said. Izuku just stands there smirking. You're wrong, Nim. Power is exactly that only matters in this world. He thought while Albion. Agreed, partner. Forgive them for not knowing better. They don't know the atrocities that humans are capable of. Someone can't help people without power. People can't fight back without power. All that matters is power. Albion paused. And those who truly understand power will never be trampled by it. Albion added as Izuku nods in agreement. Losing his patience a bit, Izuku asked again. So are we doing this? I promise I won't use Juggernaut Drive. Izuku holds out his raised hand in promise. All right then, reset. Get back to your corners. With that announcement from Midnight, both participants walked back to their own corners. Bro, what just happened? Why did the match just got almost canceled? Zero sighed. His day ruined and disappointment immeasurable. This Deku better have something worth watching, or he's just the same worthless piece of trash he was back in Aldera. Katsuki scowled. Meanwhile, beside him is Malty. In Malty's mind, you stupid son of, I would have burned you by now for saying that to him. While she caressed the cyan blue dragon mark above her stomach. Yeah, I said what I said. She has a vanishing dragon mark on her private area. You should have foresaw this by now, Tee. God, he still is. Katsuki suddenly coughed up again. Bakugo, you are cursed. Tokoyami spoke in a grim tone. Oh, just how right you were, Tokoyami-san. He is. Malty maliciously smirked while looking away, just to be sure no one would notice her. Meanwhile, at the other side where Class 1B sat, Monoma was looking at Class 1, trying to make some of them angry. But when Katsuki Bakugo coughed, he wanted to look away. He sure hates 1A and how arrogant Bakugo is, but is not a villain. He knows some limits. But he saw the malice-laced smirk that Malty made. What the heck? Isn't she Bakugo's girlfriend? Why is she smirking while those 1A jerks help Bakugo, who's coughing like he'd cough out his lungs? This gained Monoma's interest, and he's curious for sure. 1A's top strong students and their weird taste in women. He sighed and looks away while Class 1A helps Bakugo. Ida takes him to Recovery Girl. Izuku stood there, relaxed and not in any kind of discomfort. He knows his strength, and Shoto Todoroki is far from his own ballpark in strength. I'll give you one chance to walk out of the arena, Izuku threatened Todoroki, whom didn't back out. Midoriya, I'm not going to surrender just because you said so, Shoto replied, but he felt his spine shivering from the cold he's feeling. Do you know I'm sure of my strength, Todoroki? Izuku asked. This made Shoto gained a curious expression. Know why? He said. Izuku laughed at that. Because my darkness is deep. I know how hard I try to have the strength I gained until now. Izuku started walking slowly. Because I was weak years ago, that my drive to become stronger is indomitable. I train and train until my bones break and heal, and I'd break them again. The crowd froze. The shouting they did stopped. The cheering is gone as they heard some of what Izuku said, due to the surrounding mic that picked it up. Meanwhile, your drive to fight is shallow. Your darkness is shallow. Izuku stopped directly a few dozen meters facing Shoto. I pushed deeper and deeper to achieve what I have now. He pointed a finger at Shoto. Meanwhile, here you're holding yourself back because the past has those chains wrapped around you. You're a chained animal Todoroki. The chains of your trauma tightens the more you try and hide it. Then, a huge eruption of energy came out, exploding from Izuku's body. You need to realize that there's people out there who wanted to have the chance you were given, to have a powerful quirk, and you have too, but you see them as an extension of your father. It's a tool, Todoroki. The quirk is a tool. Izuku shook his head in defeat. And you are a tool of your father, a scarred boy with no will of his own. At that, Shoto Todoroki shakes from where he stood and looks at Izuku in rage. I'm not a tool of my father. Could you finally stop holding back? I may have promised Amiri that I won't use Juggernaut Drive, but Albion, it's time the ground beneath Izuku shook as more leakage of energy began to explode out of his body. Let's show everyone, partner, the might of the White Dragon Emperor. Albion replied as Izuku raised his hand for the sky. Who shall awaken? Izuku, please stay away, the ghostly voice of Inko Midoriya begged her son. Don't come home, my baby boy. A.M. the vengeful dragon who lost all to the darkness of villainy. Izuku gritted his teeth, remembering the last he heard his mother, and it was her death. Run, don't ever come home, my baby. Hearing the ghostly voice of his mother, Izuku couldn't help but shed a tear. Mommy loves you so much. I longed for justice and pursued vengeance. Izuku's words were laced with malice. I'm so proud of my little hero. For a moment, Izuku could see his mother's figure, looking at him with a smile. I shall become the vengeful dragon of supremacy, and I shall drown you in the depths of my bottomless hatred. Izuku yelled at the top of his lungs that his yell became a dragon's roar, making anyone in the arena who has an animal mutation quirk shiver in fear. Draconic Albion spoke first, then more eruption of energy happened as Izuku is engulfed in it. Resonance. End of the chapter. Here's some explanation. Draconic resonance is a phase which Izuku and Albion's wavelength is in sync. This power doesn't have the backlash of Juggernaut Drive's vitality drain. Izuku's body in this state has characteristic of Albion's scales, thick fur, and draconic wings. Vengeful Dragon Izuku's rage is corrupting the power he is taking from Albion, making more powerful but draining his mental strength, causing him to lash out due to his traumatic experience of losing his mother, hearing her cries while on the call with her in her last moments. So that's how it is. Ophis gave a curious stare at her adoptive father's appearance. Was it Ophis-chan? Midnight asked her child in confusion. Somewhat thankful didn't outright go full on Juggernaut Drive against Shoto Todoroki, but she's still vigilant if she should stop the match or let it continue. As you can see, Mother, Papa has gone into a unique transformation throughout the wielders of Albion have never tried, and only he's capable of. Ophis obliged her with an answer. He called it Draconic Resonance, for what I can tell. He's using his white dragon heart as the core to this transformation, by having himself over and over again losing and gaining strength in order to prevent a full dragon transformation. Ophis somewhat saw more than just that, and he's effectively a step into becoming an evil dragon. Never have I seen a heavenly dragon become an evil dragon. She added, meanwhile back to Izuku. Can you see now, Todoroki? This is what it means to not hold back. Izuku didn't wait and lunged forward. Todoroki dodged the attack. Izuku smirked and made sure to telegraph his attacks, making sure Todoroki had the chance to dodge. Is that all you're capable of? Izuku snarled at Todoroki. This is all you have when you tried holding back before. You're not going to beat me with that measly strength of yours. He added, shouting at the already irritated Todoroki. Todoroki's breath hitched, the sheer pressure of Izuku's presence cracking the concrete beneath his feet. The air was thick with the scent of ozone and ancient, predatory power. Shut up, Todoroki muttered, his left side frostbitten and shaking. I won't. Izuku roared. The former shimmering white aura was gone and replaced by a surge of Vanta black lightning erupting from his scaled chest. In a blur of motion, he was inches from Todoroki's face, his gold eyes glowing with a feral intensity. You're fighting a heavenly dragon with half your soul tied behind your back. Divide. The gem on Izuku's hand flashed a brilliant cold white. Todoroki felt a sudden, sickening drain of his stamina, his knees buckling as the energy was ripped from his body and added to the shimmering aura of the white dragon towering behind Izuku. Inside the recovery bay, the air was thick with the sterile scent of antiseptic and the heavy, rattling breaths of Katsuki Bakugo. He lay motionless, a pale shadow of his usual explosive self, his chest rising and falling in a jagged rhythm that spoke of a body warring with its own power. Boosted gear hummed with a low, troubled crimson pulse. Drake's voice, usually booming and defiant, was reduced to a low, guttural rumble that vibrated through the metal of the gauntlet. Malty the Welsh dragon began, the green gem flickering like a dying ember. Tell me the truth. This dragon's fall, it is a soul sickness. It happens when a host's heart is fractured, when their spirit no longer aligns with the dragon within. Why is my partner breaking? Malty leaned over the bed, smoothing a stray blonde hair from Katsuki's forehead with a practiced, gentle touch. He's just pushed himself too hard, Drake, she whispered, her voice a silk-wrapped lie. He wants to surpass Izuku so badly it's consuming him. You know how he is. That is not all, Drake snarled, a flare of heat radiating from the gauntlet. I smell a scent on you that does not belong to the red dragon. A scent of my archenemy wielders. Are you betraying the mate you chose? Is there another? Malty didn't flinch. She leaned down and pressed a chaste, lingering kiss to Katsuki's cold temple. I am loyal to the power that rules, Drake. Always. She stood up, her heels clicking softly on the linoleum as she retreated toward the door. She stepped into the hallway, the heavy steel door hissing shut and sealing the red dragon and his dying host inside. The moment the latch clicked, Malty's face transformed. The worried girlfriend mask melted away, replaced by a sharp, predatory satisfaction. She leaned against the cold wall, her breath hitching as she felt a phantom warmth radiating from her midsection. She slid her hand beneath her top, her fingers tracing the jagged, intricate lines of the White Dragon Emperor's insignia tattooed across her skin. The mark pulsed with a faint, neon blue light, responding to the massive surges of energy currently erupting in the stadium. My body belongs to my daddy, she hissed into the empty hallway, a dark, melodic giggle escaping her lips. Poor Katsuki, fighting for a crown that was stolen before the match even began. She caressed the mark, her eyes glazing over as she felt the draconic resonance energy that also resonated on her mark and from Izuku's battle vibrating through her own veins. To the world, she was the Red Dragon Emperor's support, but in reality, she was the White Dragon Emperor's greatest trophy. Quit dodging. Shoto yelled in utter frustration since he couldn't land a single blow to Izuku, and if by chance he did land a blow, Izuku's scales can't be dented, can't be pierced by his ice, can't be burned by his fire. What do you want me to do? Let you hit me? This is a battle, not a charity match. Izuku slapped him across the arena and almost sent him out of the arena, but by sheer chance Todoroki gained footing by using ice to capsulating his feet in ice, stopping his momentum. This has gone long enough. I really hope you're strong enough to block this. Even the shimmering white can be tainted by darkness. Heed my call, fuel the light with my unending rage. The innocent silvery white dragon heart within Izuku's chest suddenly turned pitch black as purple energy leaked out of his body. Vengeful Dragon has been awakened. Vengeful Dragon is a tier higher in power than evil dragons. Right now, Izuku Midoriya is the one and only Vengeful Dragon. A Vengeful Dragon is awakened when a heavenly dragon is consumed by the suppressed rage and hatred hiding in his heart. Can you fight for 1 second without flexing your transformations? This is the second one. Don't tell me you're pulling out the Diabolo's Dragon Lucifer. Albion asked his partner. Of course not, you strawberry addict. Why would I even pull that transformation out? Izuku sighed. White dragon shot. The stadium fell into a heavy, suffocating silence. The blast had been more than a physical strike. It was a conceptual erasure. Where Todoroki had once stood, only a scorched, crystalline trail remained, leading all the way to the outer wall of the arena where the sun of Endeavor lay embedded in the rubble, his dual flames snuffed out like a candle in a hurricane. Izuku stood in the center of the crater, his chest heaving, the Vanta black lightning still dancing over his purple-black scales. He didn't look like a student. He didn't even look human. He looked like a catastrophe held in a boy's frame. Winner, Izuku Midoriya. Midnight's voice wavered, her usual playful tone replaced by a sharp, instinctive dread as she looked at her adoptive daughter. Thank God, Ophis erected that barrier on Todoroki before everything turned gruesome. Izuku didn't celebrate slowly, he turned back to his human appearance. He simply closed his hand, the dividing gear on his fist let out a low, satisfied chime divide as it dissipated into motes of light. Miles away, tucked within a fortress of monitors and life support hums. All four. 1. Leaned forward. The glow of the screen washed over his scarred features, highlighting a rare, genuine grin of avarice. He replayed the moment of the white dragon shot over and over, his fingers twitching in his lap. A quirk that halves the power of its target and adds it to the user. No, not as weak as the last intel I gained, he rasped, the sound of his respirator hitching in excitement. It's more than that. It's a literal engine of theft, a masterpiece of evolution. He had spent decades collecting the most powerful quirks in existence. But what he had just witnessed was something he had never encountered in the history of the quirk registry. To him, the divine dividing wasn't a sacred gear or a spiritual bond. It was the ultimate prize. The doctor said the boy was quirkless as a child. All for one chuckled, a dark, hollow sound that echoed off the cold walls. A late bloomer? Or perhaps a hidden treasure? It doesn't matter. That quirk belongs in my collection. With it, I wouldn't just steal power, I would diminish the world until only I remain. He pressed a button on his console, bringing up a side profile of Malty Melromark, a familiar face to him. He's already surrounded himself with the right kind of influence. I need to call that girl's father. The Overlord whispered. Continue the observation. Let the boy revel in his victory. Let him grow arrogant. The riper the fruit, the more delicious the harvest. Sadly for you all, for one, that is not a fruit, that is a grenade that's about to blow in your already mashed potato head. So this was the end of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.